Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Dirty Duck Coffee. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
And Mitchell Chevrolet, because this will also have our Super Bowl
Pick 'em
in it. So yes, go get Dirty Duck Coffee. Start your day out that way. Dirty Duck Coffee. And if you're in the vehicle hunting market, Mitchell Chevrolet.
Yep. Just bought your mom a new one, and Tony bought a new truck there. Good
Beautiful.
place. Treat you good.
Treat you right.
Good trade in. Don't do no hassling. I'm not a shopper anyways. I go in and get what I want and get the hell out.
I can see that from you.
I cannot stand to do that shit. Someone asked me, well, what you get in your vehicle and stuff? I said, I didn't even check. I don't even look. I don't like shopping for cars. I don't like shopping for anything.
If I had your kind of money, I'd be the same way.
Yeah, sure you would. If I had your money, I'd burn mine. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I want to talk about the football game a little bit. This ain't gonna be a football podcast, but we're gonna talk a little bit about
we
football.
are gonna have the pick 'em in it.
And I'm gonna do my pick 'em right now and get it over with.
Go ahead.
I'm picking Seattle because I want Sam Darnold to win.
I am picking Seattle, but I'm rooting for New England.
Why are you going for New England?
I just like Vrabel. I like that he was discarded in Tennessee, and coming back home and getting the Patriots back on. I think this could be the start of another run for the Patriots. But hold on a second now. I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth for a second. The Patriots had the easiest strength of schedule this year.
And they got to play Denver with their backup quarterback.
They got to play Denver with a backup quarterback, and the game was close. It was a blizzard, I understand.
Shit, Denver. If Bo Nix wins that game, Denver wins that game, I think.
So I guess next year will be kind of the tell. But I do understand the legitimacy.
They're still in the Super Bowl, though.
They're in the Super Bowl, but they did have the easiest schedule. They're in a weak division. I mean, this is kind of Tom Brady 2.0, playing a weak division. And
one of the other best teams in football is in that division.
Yeah,
When Brady was there, they didn't have no other good teams.
Yeah,
in the division.
but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I don't think Josh Allen will ever get it done. I just don't. I think he is too reckless with the football. He turns it over when he doesn't need to. So yeah, man, I really thought that this was
they got screwed.
This was a shoe-in.
They got screwed in that game.
They did.
They got screwed by the officials. They did.
I thought this would be a shoe-in for Josh Allen. I thought Mahomes is out of the way. Lamar Jackson's on a down year. Joe Burrow's not in the way.
What do you think? Lamar Jackson ever makes the Super Bowl?
No, I don't. But he's always just kind of always played a spoiler a little bit.
Well, Mark Andrews dropped a chance for them to be in.
Yeah.
It's such a fine game in football, and there's injuries come up and stuff. But
so I do. If you were keeping score, I would have you pencil me in Seattle, but I'm going to root for New England. And I just like Boston. I'm a New England guy.
There's 10 NFL coaches got hired this year.
None of them were black, damn it.
And they're raising hell about that. And one of the arguments is
the Rooney Rule.
Well, they need to revise the Rooney Rule. Bullshit. You got billionaires. Every one of them wants to win. Yeah. They're not hiring someone based on skin color. They're hiring on someone that they think can win the game. I don't understand hiring retreads, but here you got Mike Vrabel, retread, in the Super Bowl. The coach at New England for 2 years was Jared Mayo.
1 year.
I thought he was there 2 years.
I think he was just there 1 year.
What color was he?
He was black.
Okay. They got rid of him, same team, and now they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Drake Mays had another year of experience too.
Not making excuses either way. But my point is they fired a black guy, hired a white guy, and they're in the Super Bowl. So don't make it a skin color deal. One of them was a proven winner. I don't have nothing against Jared Mayo. He may be a great coach. But you look at the black coaches that we've had. Raheem Morris, Vance Joseph, great defensive coordinators. Yeah. They're just not good head coaches. You can also say the same thing for Joe Judge and a lot of these other guys have been coaches at
What do you
places.
mean they, Jeff?
All coaches. Coaches.
They.
I didn't know. I'm not talking skin guys. They. You can say it about both sides of the aisle. There's a lot of white guys that have been fired that aren't very good coaches too.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Exactly. And they're good coordinators. They're not good head coaches.
Yeah.
There are some really good black coaches out there. But if I own the team, I'm going to hire who I want. If I want to hire a black guy, I'm going to hire a black guy. If I want to hire a white guy, I'm going to hire a white guy. If I want to hire some guy that works at 7-Eleven named Papool, I'll do that. I own the team. You can't tell these people who to hire. But not one guy out there wants to lose. They're hiring who they think is the best for the job. Look at Mike Tomlin, 19 years at Pittsburgh. He was pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just above 500 every year other than the year they won the Super Bowl.
Here's the Patriots schedule. They opened the year with the Raiders. They lost.
Okay.
Then they beat the Dolphins. Steelers beat them.
Okay.
They beat the Panthers. They beat the Bills.
Okay.
They beat the Saints. They beat the Titans. They beat the Browns.
There's no doubt they had
beat
easy
the Falcons. They beat the Bucks. But even then, they were on a down year. They beat the Jets. They beat the Bengals, I think without Joe Burrow. They beat the Giants. They lost to the Bills. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Jets. They beat the Dolphins again.
You know, you get 4 wins a year when you play the Jets.
Not many tough matchups there.
No.
Outside of the Bills, and they split with them. So, but anyway, they're in the Super Bowl, and I hope they do well. I like Vrabel.
But you hire a coach, you hire who you want to coach. You shouldn't base it on skin color at all.
No, I agree.
And you need to hire who's best, and that's what you need to do. And so, anyways, I hope Seattle wins just for Sam Darnold. I really don't care.
Why? To be a thumb in the eye to the Vikings or what? Because
No,
I'm not a Darnold fan.
I think I like to see a guy that went from top to the fucking bottom. I mean, he got traded from Jets. He got cut at Carolina. He goes to San Francisco for a year and plays under McVay. Mm-hmm. He goes to Minnesota. I heard Stinky, what's his name? Mark Schlereth talking about him before he went to Minnesota. And he said, I'm telling you, my folks in San Francisco said Sam Darnold's a player. He goes, Minnesota's got a steal on him, and he'll beat J.J. McCarthy out. When McCarthy got hurt, Sam Darnold started. Sam Darnold's won 27 games in 2 years as a starter. I'm glad to see him persevere through all that shit. So I hope Seattle wins the game. Just that reason. And I really don't care. I don't dislike New England. I mean, I'm just not excited about this. I need someone to root against. Like if the Chiefs were playing, I'd love to root against Mahomes.
Yeah.
Or if the Cowboys, I like to root against them. Or a team I like the Reds, I can root for them.
Yeah.
I don't really have any dog in this fight other than that.
I am going to jiu-jitsu on Sunday, and then I will catch it about 6:30, probably midway through the second quarter, maybe halftime. I can skip Bad Bunny's halftime performance. I did see Kid Rock going to have an alternative halftime performance.
At Turning Point.
That's where you got to watch
Charlie
it.
Kirk's. No, I don't know where you have to watch it at. I do not know that where it's going to be at, but it's the Turning Point deal. And you know what? That's what I wanted to talk about today.
Okay.
That's one thing I'm talking about, the Bad Bunny thing. I could not tell you the name of a Bad Bunny song. If you come in here and say, Jeff, I'll give you $100 million to name a Bad Bunny song, I would be without $100 million. I don't know nothing about the guy. He used to be a wrestler. Is that correct?
I have no clue who Bad Bunny is.
Okay, so you don't even.
I thought all his music was like Tejano music. I don't know.
Okay.
You can watch Kid Rock's All-American halftime show during the Super Bowl on Turning Point USA YouTube, Rumble, or X. Any of the Turning Point accounts on any of those places.
What is going on with them other TV stations? You've missed a perfect place to rake in a bunch of people to watch it, because there's a bunch of people going to turn it off. I don't speak Spanish.
Daily Wire Plus, TBN, Real America's Voice, or OAN. I don't know if I have any of those channels. Maybe OAN.
I have OAN, I think. Are y'all coming to my house for Super Bowl?
I'm not sure.
I think y'all are. You are.
My TV's bigger, Jeff, so.
Well, then you're feeding everybody good. We're going to your house then.
I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there until after jiu-jitsu.
I think y'all are coming to our house is what my wife
Let's look
told
up
me today.
Bad Bunny. We'll play his top song. How about that?
But I don't listen to him. I don't know nothing about him. I know he's anti-ICE. He's anti-American, all that shit. So fuck him.
They all are.
Well, I'm not going to listen to this shit. So
okay, his top. This is according to Apple. Top song for Bad Bunny is DTMF. His next is Ballet in Novilabado.
Put on the DTMF. Just play it for a second. Just so I know if I've heard this song. This is his top song.
I've never heard it.
Sounds like a space. Now you've entered the space odyssey.
Translate these lyrics. Yeah, it's all Spanish.
That's why the NFL owners are having a fit right now, because they are catching shit from all of their sponsors. The actual teams are.
Right.
And the owners are catching shit from their friends and everyone else about why they've ruined the halftime. They get paid a percentage. They get paid based on the viewership with their sponsors. So guess what? Everybody that's sponsoring that halftime shit, you're going to have a lot of listeners, people watching you in Colombia and Venezuela and shit. But good old Midwest America is not going to listen to you.
Yeah, I guess. So,
and that's not they don't give a shit. They know we're going to watch the game. But I ain't watching halftime.
What do you think this was according to Fox Sports, top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. They ranked them.
Well,
Top 10. What would you say number one is?
we going by me personally or by their list? I thought the one with Snoop Dogg was really good.
That ranks number 3 on here.
That was, I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good.
The one last year was shit.
I don't remember last year. Oh,
That's
last
trash.
year was Kendrick Lamar, wasn't it?
It was trash.
Yeah, but we were in Mexico and couldn't really watch it either. So
watch the game.
I'll give it a pass. Give me another one.
I liked when Janet Jackson got her titty nipple showed.
That's number 2.
That was Justin Timberlake and her, right?
Yep.
I liked the one in Atlanta where Charlie Daniels was on there and the Black Eyed Peas.
That's not on here.
Of course, because I liked it. Did Aerosmith do it one year?
Yes. 2001, they were with Britney Spears and Mary J. Blige.
Okay. Whitney Houston did it one year, I think. Did Michael Jackson do it one year?
That's number 4.
Okay. Just tell me number 1 and I'll tell
Prince.
you. Oh, that would be good. I mean, yeah.
2007. It was in the rain.
Yeah, who would not want him? That was the Chicago played in Miami, right? Against Indianapolis.
Yeah,
Prince. Outside of Eddie Van Halen. But yeah, Prince is one of the most remarkable
Michael
musicians.
Jackson played in 93.
That would have been when he was on his
with the Cowboys.
Man in the Mirror deal.
Because I remember you didn't watch that show on Netflix, but all the Cowboys, like Michael Irvin, skipped halftime
to watch
Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Where was that game at?
I believe California.
Okay.
Rose Bowl.
Who played the Super Bowl at Dallas? The halftime show
with the Packers.
Yeah, and it was a snowstorm and ice storm the days before.
Mm-hmm. Packers, Steelers. Super Bowl halftime show was the Black Eyed Peas with special guests Slash and Usher.
Was that the one Charlie Daniels was on that one too?
He's not listed.
Okay, he was at one of them. I think he was in Atlanta when they played. But I remember Charlie Daniels was there because one of the black guys in the Black Eyed Peas put on Charlie Daniels' cowboy hat and was dancing around with it on. I remember that.
Let's take a look. 1994. What? That can't be. With Gretchen Wilson?
Probably.
Huh. Well, there you go. Says he's played in a couple. Oh. Charlie Daniels performed at 2 Super Bowls. Super Bowl in 1994 during the pregame and halftime finale, and again in 2005 for the pregame show with Gretchen Wilson. So that was 2005.
Okay, with the one
1994, he performed with Georgia Satellites and Criss Cross in the pregame, then joined the Judd, Stevie Wonder, and others for the finale of the halftime show in the Georgia Dome.
See, that back then they had a mixture of music. They have just shoved it down the throat, all this other shit lately. They have. I like the one in California with Snoop Dogg and them. I can get into that. That was a really good one. And it kind of, my generation to y'all's generation, it kind of crossed. Mm-hmm. But this Kendrick Lamar, whoever it was last year, was terrible. But I'm not their audience. And it's on Super Bowl Sunday at halftime. You can pick up your Facebook and you see all the old people like me bitching about it. And they do it every year. You're not the audience. They're not targeting us.
You think they bitch when Prince did it? Because that was, 2005?
Oh, I'm sure the old timers did then too. But the difference was, though, Prince was still a big pop star that even the older people listened to.
2007 was Prince. 2004 was Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
But people could relate to that. People my age don't relate to Bad Bunny. We don't know nothing about him. Back then, you had limited markets of shit.
Yeah, whenever they announced it, I had to Google who Bad Bunny was.
There you go. I think he was a wrestler at one time. I think he was a WWE wrestler.
No way.
I think so.
I don't think so.
I'll tell you what, I'll bet you. That lawn, I got to mow yours. You want to bet on it? That's no, I don't want to bet.
WWE?
I think so. I think he was a wrestler.
He was.
There you go. I'm free on the mowing then.
Yes, Bad Bunny is recognized as an accomplished WWE celebrity wrestler.
There you go.
Wow.
Because I asked who the hell it was. Because I used to be on SmackDown or something. I go, huh?
Yeah, but he's just kind of, he's a celebrity wrestler. Like he would just come in and compete in high profile matches, it says.
He wrestled.
Yeah, not by
I mean, he's not The Rock.
Not by himself.
But anyways, I think they screwed up, but I think they're trying to market more globally than just in the United States. They've got us. We're going to watch the game anyways. And this Super Bowl here's got less flair. I mean, I have not listened to any pregame about it. I don't give a shit. There's just nothing about it that's exciting unless you live in Seattle or you live in New England.
East Coast, West Coast battle.
Yeah. I would much rather Denver played. And I'm not a Sean Payton fan.
This is what you got.
Yep. And you got to deal with it.
This is what you got.
But I think the NFL screwed up by doing this. I don't know why they continue to do that. The NFL has one thing that saves them. Fantasy football. That drives the NFL. You can say what you want to, but people watch games that they don't give two shits about because their players playing.
Yeah.
And every business, every office everywhere has got a fantasy football league. We'll change it up now. Now we'll get on to some shit going on in the world, and then we'll get on to your ski trip. What do you think about this girl? Do you know much about this lady that's got kidnapped or is missing? Do you know anything about it at all?
No.
A lady that's on the today. Andy's been skiing, so he's been living the good life.
Ski king, baby.
There's a lady that's a reporter, and she's on the Today or the Morning Show or something, and her name's Savannah Guthrie is the lady's name. And her mother lives, now I'm probably going to get this wrong, lived in Tucson, Arizona. And she's 84 years old, and she got kidnapped. And they got a ransom note for her.
Okay.
And they found a little bit of blood at the place. And they don't know what's going on. Trump, this lady is big time anti-Trump, this Guthrie lady. And Trump called her, and he's helping getting the federal government involved, trying to help her and stuff. The FBI and the Border Patrol is really involved in this. And I'm wondering if this is not a drug cartel deal.
It's in Arizona.
Yes. And they haven't said anything else. They got it all over her name's Nancy Guthrie. It's all over the news. You obviously were gone, and so you haven't.
All my Twitter is investment stuff. I don't know how I got on this, but all I see is gold and silver and Bitcoin.
Well, I can tell you what, everything that Jeff owns is going in the toilet right now.
Now's the time to buy, baby. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. If I can preach one thing to all you investors out there, buy the dip.
Well, it's dipping right now. Silver's down to $75. It was $120 the other day.
Buy.
Well, I don't have the balls to buy any more crypto because my crypto has been in the toilet for the last 4 months.
Buy.
I don't know. I saw a deal that said Bitcoin may go to zero. And
No,
I don't know why.
it's not going to go to zero.
I don't know. There's nothing. I still don't understand enough about it to
buy the
change
dip.
it. Okay.
What's gold at? What did it fall to? Can I finally buy some? Can I finally get in the gold market?
You can buy anything you want to. Gold prices today, I'm going to say 4,800 probably.
That's a good deal.
Gold prices today. Let's see. Gold prices today per ounce. Well, can't get it. Silver's at 73.89 right now. Gold 48.49. Gold prices today.
I could get 1/100th of an ounce.
1/100th of an ounce. It's down $100 today.
Good.
You know, we got a client, and I'm not going to mention his name, but he had 10 gold bars.
When did you buy them? 70s when it was like $250?
His mother gave them to him. 10 gold bars.
Yeah.
And I think her dad gave them to her. So he told me that when he got to $2,000 an ounce, he was selling them things.
Did he?
How much does a gold bar weigh? Are they 10 pounds?
You're asking the wrong guy, Jeff.
I think gold bars weigh 10 pounds. Let me look this up real quick. I mean, you could have them any time, I guess anything. I'm trying to see what it says here. I can't get it. 100 troy ounces. I'm trying to look and see exactly how big they are.
27 pounds.
27 pounds. Okay, he had 10 of those.
Woo.
So you do the math on that.
That's a lot.
27 pounds. And what is it 12 ounces or 16 ounces? I think theirs are 12, aren't they?
This says a standard gold bar is 400 ounces.
400 ounces. Okay. He told me when they got to 2,000 an ounce, he was going to sell them.
Sell.
$800,000 a bar then.
Did he?
If that's right, it is. I didn't ask him this year, but I'm going to. I might call him later and ask him if he sold them.
Hey, did you sell several years ago?
He was going to sell them at 2,000 because it would get to like 1980 and it'd fall down. He just said, well, if it gets over that 2,000 mark, I'm not doing nothing until 2,000. Someone told me to sell at 2,000. If he sold them at 2,000, he's a sick son of a bitch right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
because that's $8 million worth of gold at 2,000 an ounce. It's $16 million worth of gold, almost $20 million now.
Can you be upset about that though?
If you had $8 million or $16 million, yes.
Yeah, but I'm sure he was happy. You just got to remember the feeling that you had when you sold for $8 million. And then, like, so here's my.
What are you going to do with $8 million though?
Here's my thing: reinvested in gold.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
here's my thing: like, let's say I was sitting on gold bars.
Mm-hmm.
I got same number as this guy. Where am I going to go to sell them that's going to give me $8 million?
Any place that's a gold, so you can go to Golders. There's all kinds of places buy and sell gold. I mean, you're not just going to go down to Jim's pawn shop in Abilene, Texas, and sell him a gold bar and get $800,000.
Because that's where I got my silver, whatever that precious metal place is.
Right, and they buy and sell.
So I could go into that place and go.
You could probably call them and say, "Hey, I've got a gold bar, a 10-pound gold bar. Can you buy it from me?"
Oh, and they'll say yes or
no.
We
could call them right now and ask them, and they would be like,
please,
but
God, no.
There's places that do it.
Yeah.
I saw, you know, Rick Harrison is from Pawn Stars.
Yep.
He had a guy come in and sold him a car of some sort. I just read the article the other day. I can't remember the car. And the guy told him they agreed on the price of $90,000. And the guy said, "I want that in gold." And Rick, okay, we can do that.
Right.
That $90,000 car that Rick Harrison's now, that guy's got $360,000 worth of gold. This happened, back 5-10 years ago.
Right.
But the guy wanted $90,000 in gold, and now his gold is worth $360,000. And that car is still worth $90-some thousand. But Rick it was an even trade for Rick. He didn't, it was whatever it was. But yeah, gold prices, you can find places to sell and buy and sell gold. I just don't know where it is when you have that kind of gold.
Well, then they got to go through an authentication.
I don't think gold. They just test it. If it's gold, I don't think it takes that hard.
Oh, it takes a while. You're not going to get your money today.
Not $800,000. You could probably go to Vegas to one of those big pawn shops and do it.
Right.
They've got the money.
But like, how long do you think your local place?
Oh,
let's say you go to Lubbock. Let's say you go to Lubbock, which is 250,000 people. How long is it going to take you to get your money for the gold? I bet it's going to take all of a week.
To get $800,000 in cash, if you want cash for it.
Let's say you're selling more than one. Let's say you're selling the $8 million.
There's some outlets that are out there to do it.
I don't know.
There are. You're not going to go just anywhere, but there's places out there that would be able to buy your gold and flip it and do it. People have a lot of money that would do that. That's in that business. So, a guy we both know the other day was doing some cleaning up, and he come across a bunch of silver chalices.
What's that?
It's like a goblet, a cup that you drink out of. And so he put them up on a trading post. And I called him up. I said, "Hey," I said, "are those real silver?" He said, "Yeah, I think so." I said, "Have you seen the price of silver lately?" He goes, "Well, yeah, it's up a little bit." I said, "It's $100 an ounce." I said, "If those things are pure silver and you're trying to sell them for $20 to $40 a piece or whatever they were," I said, "you're losing money." I said, "If they're real silver," I said, "I'd buy them all day from you."
Right.
He goes, "They're truly worth that money?" I said, "You need to go find out if it's real silver." I said, "He's a friend of mine." I said, "Someone's going to take advantage if those are real silver. I'm just telling you as a friend, you need to go check." So he called me back. He said, "That's real silver." I said, he said, "I took them off." I said, "You should." I go, "You need to find out how much silver's in one of those." And I said, "This is my advice. If those things are pure silver or whatever they are, melt them some bitches down to bars and then take them to a place and sell them." Because I said, them things might be worth $300, $400, $500 a cup.
Right.
In just silver. There's folks that's got silverware, real silverware at their house.
Not me.
No, but how many ounces? Look on your deal. How many ounces are in a real silver, a silver fork or a silver knife? Just do a knife. Just how much silver's in a real silver knife, butter knife?
About 2 ounces.
Okay.
1.75. Anywhere from 1 to 1.75.
So a butter knife's worth $150.
Yeah.
There are folks right now, old people that's got silverware, sets of silverware at their house. They're sitting on a gold. They got a $10,000 set of cutlery. I mean, you're laughing, but that's true.
Yeah.
If you inherited that right now, would you not sell the shit?
Yeah.
I would too. Who's going to eat? Who gives a shit if you're eating on freaking
Grandma's?
Or Michelle bought some forks the other day that are heavy duty. I like them. I don't know what there's some kind of metal alloy of some sort. Mm-hmm. But if we had a set of grandma's silverware and it's worth $10,000 or $20,000, I'm selling that shit.
So I saw something, and we're going to try to work through this together. In 1971, the federal minimum wage was $1.60 an hour. That translated to 1.82 ounces of gold per week in 40 hours.
Well, hold on now. How much was it?
$1.61 per hour.
In a week's work,
40 hours, that would translate
$65.
That would translate to 1.82 ounces of gold per week.
Gold was worth about $27, $28 an ounce.
Yes.
If I'm doing my math right.
When it started, about 25 to 27.
Okay.
Today, if we were still on the gold standard, that would translate to $150 per hour or $6,000 a week.
That's what you're trying to get at.
Minimum wage is
that you can't. Yeah, but that's not a fair assessment, because you're talking about something that's a commodity that's traded. It's a precious metal. It was just an example of what gold prices were and the supply and demand of gold is what that means. It has nothing to do with work wages. So that's irrelevant. But yeah, silver was worth more than gold back then.
But that just shows you how out of whack things are.
But it's supply and demand. That's why. You could say anything that got oil. Oil goes up and down. Wheat prices, corn prices, it's a commodity. Gold's the same way. So that's not a fair assessment. Do a loaf of bread something you're eating. Something.
It's probably only doubled.
Oh, bread's a lot more than it used to be. You used to be able to loaf of bread for 30 cents.
What's it now, $1.50?
Probably $3. But gold prices.
Maybe that organic stuff.
Gold prices. The Bass Brothers the Bass Brothers, I think the Bass Brothers, they tried to corner the silver market in 1980. They tried to buy a big world supply and make it go up in price. Well, Tesla now is putting 2 pounds of silver in every car battery. That's why silver prices are going up. There's a demand outside of jewelry.
Let's just see if that's true, because you keep saying that.
What?
About 2 pounds. There are not 2 pounds of silver in a current Tesla battery.
How much is in it?
1.5 ounces.
And that's all in each one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that guy lied to me the other day.
A typical electric vehicle, including Tesla, contains only a small amount of silver, generally in the range of 25 to 50 grams, approximately 0.8 to 1.6 ounces.
Look and see how much. See what they're using silver in smart batteries and stuff. Maybe all smart batteries have them in there, not just Teslas.
Every
is what's
electric vehicle battery?
Yeah, or just batteries. What? How much silver's in batteries or something? There's something that's changed it.
No, most of them per vehicle is about what Tesla's doing.
But if every one of them's got it in there, that's still a bunch of ounces of silver that wasn't being used for nothing else.
But it's not 2 pounds.
No, it's not 2 pounds, but that's got a lot to do with it. It's being used for other things.
What is silver being used for today? It's in 5G equipment. Maybe that's what he meant.
Okay, so every phone's got it in it.
Silver high conductivity makes it crucial for solar panels and electronics such as 5G equipment.
Hold on, right there, solar panels. Have you been to Abilene lately?
No.
When you get north of Anson, there's about 3,000 acres next to the road that's got dirt work being done, and that's all fixed to be solar panels.
See, but this says 20 grams per panel. That is equivalent to the ounce per panel.
Okay, and how many thousands of panels are they putting up everywhere?
I don't know, but
I mean, but it's being used for more. Back in the day, it was just jewelry. That's what I'm saying. It's got a whole lot more uses than it used to, is because it's valuable. So you're taking something that used to be just in a ring now. That's not just a ring.
I'm going with we're headed for a crash.
So you think that's why?
Well, it's history. Anytime that gold and silver spike like this, there's an economic downturn. People are hedging their bets. Smart people are hedging their bets. Warren Buffett's already pulled out of the U.S. stock market. Says get out. He's the smartest investor ever, other than Nancy Pelosi.
There you go. Say Nancy
I don't know.
Pelosi.
I don't know what she's got.
Okay, I can buy silver American Eagle coins right now for $95.
Is that good?
Well,
I thought
it
the
is
price
if
of
it
silver
goes.
was $75.
That's what their troy ounce right now on American Silver Eagles. I'm just looking at a site. Live silver price is $76.68 right now.
But you pay a markup, I guess.
I guess so. So if I bought a dozen of those right now, that would be $1,000. I wonder what the dozen of those will be worth in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
I mean, if anybody, yeah, it'd be great to know what it's going to be in 2 weeks.
No, I can buy them. Yeah, $95. Let me look at this other side. I'm going to buy a dozen of them. We're going to see what happens here. Or I'll buy some silver bars, 5-ounce silver bars. Are $438 a piece.
Why wouldn't you get gold, though, and just get one of them?
Because I don't want to give them $5,000 for an ounce of gold.
But you're giving them $5,000 or $1,000 either way.
Well, there's a difference between $1,000 and $5,000.
No, the money's the same. You can get $1,000 worth of gold.
I would never be able to get rid of gold. I mean, I would, but silver's just, I've got silver already, a bunch of it. I'm not going to get rid of it anyways. I went looking through my deals today. I got some 10-ounce bars.
This is what is screwy about like gold and silver. So like I was talking to my wife just the other day, like if she told me, we'll throw out a number, say $5,000, $5,000. We'll say 10 because that kind of hurts a little bit. Say $10,000. If she said, hey, I put $10,000 into our Roth IRA. I'm like, oh, great. That's good. Cool. I'm glad we got the money that we could invest and put it towards our future. But if she came to me and said, hey, I spent $10,000, and maybe that's where the mind screwing is. If she said, hey, I spent $10,000 and got gold, I would be pissed. It's the same investment. That's what I'm saying. It's just something in my head that where she's like, hey, I put $10,000 into our retirement account. I'd be like, great. But if she said, hey, I spent $10,000 and got 2 ounces of gold, I'd be like, you dumbass.
You'll probably make more money on the gold.
100% you would.
But what's the gold? How high is it going to go? That's what scares me about buying silver at $100 an ounce. When I was buying it at $20 and $30 and $40 an ounce, I had a little bit of wiggle room, and I figured, well, it ain't going to go down much. But if you buy
I don't know.
You buy $10,000 of silver at $100 an ounce, and it goes down to $70 an ounce, which is still really good for silver. You've lost 30% of your money. It's like me buying crypto right now.
Mm. Well, now's the time to buy.
Well, yeah, it's what I kept buying crypto, and what all this done is gone down.
But I'm just saying, it's a difference in my mentality to where she's like, where they're both investments in the long term.
Yes, it's the way you look at it.
But I guess it's because I'm physically getting something for that $10,000 that can fit in the palm of my hand versus something that, like, and it's weird. Like, you don't even have anything in return whenever you put money into the stock market. But I don't know. It's my brain. It doesn't work very well.
I would like to have,
kind of dumb.
I used to have a bunch of silver dollars, and I don't know where I think I've given them away over the years to grandkids and stuff. I don't know where they're at. But what are silver dollars worth now?
$1?
No, they're not either. They're worth a bunch more than that. I mean, yeah, they're worth $1 if you go to the store. But I think silver dollars now are a 1942 nickel is worth a nickel, but the silver value is $4.32. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this right now. There's a list of stuff. It's called a website called Coinflation. And a walk-in Liberty $50 is worth $27,000. Or $27, I'm sorry, $27.
Oh.
But that's the silver dollars. Eisenhower silver dollar. There's a 71 to 76 Eisenhower dollar is worth $24. A silver eagle from 1986 to 2013 are worth $76 a piece for $1. There's people that have these at home that just collect them. Old people that have some silver dollars are worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
A Kennedy $50 is worth $27 now. I mean, there are people that have sleeves of them things.
Not me. I don't know what I got.
Well, I've got some silver. I don't have enough of it now.
No, and that's the thing is like, I don't have enough of anything to make it. Like Bitcoin, I got Bitcoin. I don't have enough to get rich. Unless it
You need Sheeb to go up.
500x.
I need Sheeb to go up.
Let me see how much Sheba I got. I don't think I got Sheba. I think I got Doge. I got something.
Which is the one that's, I've got 20 million of something. It's the one that's not worth a shit. It's probably worth a penny or some crap. I think it's Sheeb.
Let me see my portfolio. Yeah, it is Sheba.
And what's it worth? Half a penny or some shit?
Fuck no. There's 5 zeros before you get to a 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right there. That's what I got. And I think I get 20 million of those.
And I bought it. So it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 506. And I bought it when it was 407.
So you've lost.
Oh, I lost my ass.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't put much on it. But I'm down. But I have 1.4 million of them. So if that thing ever does hit,
that's when we go to $1.
I'd settle for 10 cents.
What's Doji at now?
I don't even know. I don't even know if you can trade it on Coinbase.
Yeah, you can, because I get a note from them all the time on stuff.
Doge is almost a dime.
I wish I owed 20 million shares of that.
No, because it was a month ago, it was 15.
Well, I wish I had 20 million then. That'd been $3 million.
In September, it was 30 cents.
Yeah, that's probably when I bought mine right there. Poof. No, I didn't. I bought
30 cents on September 12th.
I don't have much of it. But I got a lot of that Sheeb.
Yeah.
All I need is for Elon Musk to come out and say that he uses Sheeb on his cars, and then it'll go up to $1.
He was Doge, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know, but I need him to switch to Sheeb. If I ever meet him, I'm going to say, listen, will you just mention this on
Just mention it one time.
And that's all you got to do, and then we'll be good.
I don't think he really cares if he's good with you or not.
No, he don't really care. Elon doesn't care about me at all.
Nope.
So how was the trip?
Oh, it was fantastic. We have finally successfully taught both of our boys how to ski.
The other one was pretty good anyways, wasn't he?
Oh, Reese is excellent. Yeah. This is 7th or 8th trip. I can't remember. He's 11, and we've gone pretty much every year since he's been able to stand. He's great. He could go down any run on the mountain, and we would. So
he skis black and does everything.
He could, yeah. Jameson, we skipped last year. The year before that, we all had the flu. So this was kind of his first year, like really. But first half day was rough with him. Like, he can go straight. That's no problem. But we had to teach him, like, you got to be able to turn. You have to be able to stop. So we spent most of the first day on the bunnies with him. Reese was getting a little bit bored, and he was ready to quit at lunch. Had a little bit of a wipeout.
Reese did?
No, Jameson.
Oh.
Jameson was ready to quit at lunch.
Yeah, Jesse had texted Michelle and told her that.
So finally, after lunch, took a little bit of a break. Let's put this down. We'll come back, look at it again later. After lunch, he got it. He got the turning down, all that other stuff. We did the big run. By day 3, fearless. I mean, you can't keep up with him. Either one of them. They just go straight down and figure it out on the bottom. Had a snowboarder wipe him out on the last day. Ran up right behind him.
Did you get onto the guy?
Well, he got up, because I always bring up the rear, because I am very competent, and if anybody falls, I'll help get you up. So I finally ski up to Jameson. When I get there, guy's like, man, I'm really sorry. And then he left.
Well, at least he apologized. I mean, what else do you want him to do?
I guess that's fine. He just knocked my 7-year-old down.
Well, he didn't. He said he was sorry. I mean, he didn't do it on purpose.
He's old enough. He's an old man.
I was with an old guy skiing one time, and he wiped out a whole bunch of people. And the ski patrol come up, and you're out of control. He's like, no shit. You think I did that on purpose?
But I've never skied Colorado before. Colorado was great. The runs were wide. And that kind of put me at ease also, because even if they mess up, we're not going off the side of a mountain. The runs were very, very wide. I think next year we're going to go to Vermont.
That's what Jesse was telling me. You better get you a damn new Black American Express card then.
Why?
That fucking shit's expensive.
No, it's not.
At Stowe?
No, I think we're going to go to Smuggler's Notch. It's the same price as what we just did.
I think we went up Smugglers.
Stowe is very expensive. It's like $2,500 for the 3 days.
So Smugglers is not as high.
No.
What about that place in Brownfield we went to in Maine?
I don't know. I just looked up.
At Conway, New Hampshire.
I just looked up top ski resorts in Vermont. Stowe was number one. It said Smuggler's Notch was voted America's family resort. So it's pretty close to what we paid.
We flying to Boston or Manchester?
Burlington.
Yeah, because how far is Burlington? It's not very far from there.
45 minutes.
That'd be pretty. So did you like Durango? I've never been to Durango. That's one little part of Colorado I've never been to.
Yeah, it was nice.
Was it kind of a deserty, high mountain type deal with the red dirt and everything around there?
It's in between two mountain ranges.
So beautiful, beautiful there then.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You see a lot of elk?
Didn't see one elk.
Even on the whole trip driving up or nothing?
Nothing.
Crazy.
Didn't see a mule. I didn't see any wildlife.
Did you see any shitty places when you got north of Albuquerque?
The best part of New Mexico is leaving New Mexico. I don't know why we still have that attached to us.
That Farmington, New Mexico, them reservations, that's some shitty area.
Why do we still have New Mexico?
I don't care.
Trade that for Cancun. Give it to them. Trade. Put all the Greenlanders in New Mexico. That place is a shithole. I hate New Mexico. As soon as we cross the tracks and go into Texaco, it turns to shit. And I'm not kidding you this.
It's Tex line.
Oh, it's Texaco.
It's Tex line.
Whatever
Clayton?
it is. No, Clovis.
Okay. Never mind. I was thinking you went to
Texaco.
Amarillo and went up that way. Yes, you're right.
And I'm not shitting you this. As soon as you cross into Colorado, it's beautiful. You see that Colorado sign, you cross it, you're 100 yards past that Colorado sign. Most gorgeous scenery you've ever seen.
About Farmington and Chama?
It's past Farmington. It's up north there. But it's beautiful in Colorado. As soon as you get it,
New Mexico has some beautiful places.
They don't even have a sign whenever you come back into New Mexico that welcomes you to New Mexico. They want you to think that you're still in Colorado. That's how shitty it is. Like, listen, we're not going to let people know that they're back in New Mexico. But all on the roadway, all on the highway, it was talking. There were billboards talking about how shitty New Mexico is. Last in education, first in crime. I saw that billboard 100 times on the way. It's horrible. It's a horrible place. That's part of the reason I want to go to Vermont. So I don't got to drive through New Mexico again. And I figured out I'm a blue blood or New Englander from way back.
Are you?
Yeah. Blue blood runs through my veins, Jeff. I'd have fit in with the Kennedys if they'd have just given my ancestors a chance. They kicked us out a long time ago. But Purgatory is 30 miles north of Durango, so we picked up skis in Durango and we went out to eat one time in Durango. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time in Durango. It's a 30-minute drive. We stayed at the resort at Purgatory. But yeah, it was a great trip. We went and had dinner at the Strater Hotel, famous hotel, I guess, in Colorado. It said in the menu that JFK gave his announcement address whenever he was going to run. That's not true. I don't know how they put that in there. Somebody needs to fact check them.
So he just lied about it?
Yeah, he just lied about it. He did give a campaign speech there at that hotel, but he did not announce his presidency, his run for presidency at the Strater Hotel.
Well, I don't think Durango, Colorado would be the place to be doing it anyways. Well,
why put that? Why put that? Because it was given
because people like you believe it.
I didn't believe it. I fact checked it immediately. Like, you got Google now. You can't just lie about that stuff. It was given like the history of the Strader Hotel, started by a pharmacist from Ohio, and 70 grand back in the 1800s. And it's like, oh, and JFK gave his presidential announcement address.
I've been right by where y'all are going skiing.
In Vermont?
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to go to Vermont.
Why don't you look up Lake Placid where they did the Olympics? That's beautiful, that little village there. That's right south of Thousand Islands. Like,
I'm sure
2 hours away.
I'm sure it's probably pretty difficult.
To go to Lake Placid?
No, the skiing at Lake Placid. I'm sure.
Why?
I'm sure it's hard.
I doubt it. All them places got to have idiot runs too.
They don't have to.
You just said your son can go anywhere.
My oldest can.
Oh,
My
James
youngest
will be good by then.
Huh?
He'll be good by then.
I like the idea of going to America's family ski resort.
You don't think they're lying about that?
They can't. It's illegal.
Well, they do it in Colorado.
It's just about JFK. I'm sure they wrote that menu thing up a long time ago, before Google.
Well, skiing on the East Coast would be a really cool deal.
Is it?
I would think so. Those are cool. I've been to a couple of those ski run places.
I was 18 hours into my drive into Mexico, and I was like, oh, we got to go somewhere else. I don't. As soon as I get into Mexico, my anxiety just spikes. It's nasty. It's a nasty place. So I was like, what can we do different next year? This is awful. 18 hours to get through New Mexico.
Well, it's not 18 hours.
It felt like it. Felt like I was on that damn road for 7 days.
Why don't y'all go to Crested Butte? That's a cool place too.
Where's Crested Butte?
It's going to be north of Gunnison.
You got to go through New Mexico.
Just very little of it. You don't have to. You can go through Boise City, Oklahoma, and go right into Colorado. Go that way. You don't even have to go through New Mexico if you don't want to.
I'm an East Coaster, Jeff.
I told Jesse y'all should go to Lake Tahoe and ski at Heavenly.
It's on the West Coast.
You fly.
That's the West Coast, Jeff.
So?
I'm an East Coast guy.
Skiing's better on the West Coast anyways.
No, it's not.
Big Rocky Mountains, yeah.
No.
Why don't you just go to Whistler and ski then?
Plus, like, my nose starts bleeding when I get up in high elevation.
You're skiing. It's going to be the same thing on the East Coast.
No, it's not.
It's 5,000-6,000 feet.
No, it's like 3,000.
Bullshit.
It's not very high, Jeff.
I've been to the top of Stowe. It's fucking high.
I didn't say we were going to Stowe.
It's going to be the same mountain range. It's right next to it's the White Mountains.
Elevation for Smuggler's Notch, Vermont. 2,100 feet.
At the top of the mountain or at the town?
3,600 feet.
Okay.
Top elevation. We're at 3,600 feet here.
No, we're not either.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not. You've been
right
to the
there.
mountains right there. The same mountain range.
My nose didn't bleed once when I was there.
Your nose didn't bleed in Durango.
It sure did.
How high was you up there? 8,000?
No, it's actually not very high.
You just argued that.
That's what I'm saying. I get up like past 5,000 feet and blood gushes. Let's see. Purgatory. I think it's like 7. Oh, no wonder I was bleeding. 10,000.
You used past the tree line?
No.
So the trees were still there then?
Oh, trees everywhere.
Okay, well, have you not skied anywhere you've been above the tree line?
No. Base elevation 87, summit elevation 10.8.
I skied above the tree line in Arizona a long time ago.
But let me tell you this. I talked to a local guy there. We're sitting in the hot tub and this man comes up to us,
And this is a family show.
right. Like, he had a nice jacket on I could choke him with. If he tried anything fishy. But he was one of the original investors in the condominium that we were staying in 1981 or whatever. Been skiing Purgatory since the 60s. Worst year for snow he's ever seen since 1967. Said it's awful. He said there's spurts like early in the year where you don't have much or you'll have a lot, and it kind of
So this could be a hunting outfitter question from last year.
Goes and comes. But he's like, usually by late January, February, like it's
a lot of snow there usually.
Lots of snow, like you're getting fresh snow often. He's like, it's awful. And he's like, looking at the forecast, when we were there, highs were in the 50s, lows were in the 20s.
That's terrible.
Every
whole way
day.
around.
So he's like, don't judge it on this year alone, but it's awful. Awful, awful. I don't know any place other than the East Coast. East Coast has a lot of snow, Jeff.
Right now, this year they did. Some years they don't.
The one thing that worries me about the East Coast, though, is the temperatures.
It can be cold
Like I looked up Stowe, it was like 10 degrees for a high.
Yeah, it's cold.
But at Stowe, you're paying a premium, but you have the lift chair is fully enclosed.
I've been on them.
Oh, you have? Mm-hmm. Oh, I forget.
I've been the top of Stowe.
I forget you got this new Tahoe money.
Oh shit!
That's the Stowe.
I went to the Stowe with your superintendent of the schools.
Do you stand or is there chairs?
Sit in there.
Wow. No
Same
wonder.
one. If you go to Tahoe, it's the same way at Heavenly.
No wonder they
A
charge.
lot of those places are that way because it's cold.
No wonder they charge so much. Didn't realize you'd been. I didn't realize you'd been all over Stowe and had such a.
Been there a couple times.
Oh wow, okay.
So have you been to the? They didn't have covered ones there.
No.
I think Crested Butte also has covered
Never
ones.
been on a covered lift.
Well, you take your skis off.
Oh, that'll be a pain in the ass.
Oh, you just snap them back on. It's pretty simple.
I got a 7 and an 11-year-old.
Them boys can both snap a ski on easier than you can, and you know that's true.
Pain in the ass. I got to take my skis off every time I get on the lift.
That lift goes forever, and then you ski all the way down. I'm sure they had other ones that.
Talking myself out of going to Vermont.
Yeah, Stowe's it was all covered. I'm pretty sure. The one we went on was for sure, and the one at Heavenly at Tahoe was too.
The one thing I'm worried about though, and I hadn't told my wife this yet, is I read that the runs in Vermont are narrow.
Probably true.
I like the wide runs. You ain't got to worry about your kids hitting stuff.
Angel Fire was that way.
Purgatory was bigger than Angel Fire.
But I mean, those are nice. Taos is not.
Like, I'm talking from this building to the guide shack wide. Like, so you could just.
Yeah.
Jessie got wiped out by a 6-year-old.
Well, she needs to watch where she's going.
Just smoked her right up the back. Pow.
So did she bust her ass much?
No, I busted my ass. The hardest hit I've taken in a while was on the bunny run. First day. First day, I'm coming in. It's just me and Jameson. We're skiing a little bit, and we're going to get on the lift. I don't know what grabbed my ski, but I was right at
blade.
It just took me. Jameson's looking at me, and I don't get up very easily anymore. But I didn't think I was ever getting up.
Stowe, Vermont features a modern ski lift system that includes a covered gondola.
Trust me, I know.
Which
read all about it. I
has
ain't got the experience like you.
Including one intermountain gondola, high-speed gondolas, quads, triples, doubles, and surf lifts. They can take 15,000 skiers per hour up there.
Wow.
It was a lot of. It's a very big place. It's a cool town. It's a liberal shithole in some places, but it's a beautiful place.
I didn't see one normal person. We stopped at the grocery store. We stopped at the grocery store in Durango to get everything we were going to need for the week. Not one. Jesse went in. We sat in the truck. Not one normal person walked out of that place. And like another thing, like I'm always we had some weird servers, but I could tell male, female. Well, me being a nice Southern gentleman.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
You said the wrong thing.
No, but I'm always like, can I get you more, whatever? Yes, ma'am. And I'm always like, ooh, am I going to get chastised? It shouldn't be that way. Like, I'm just being polite. And I shouldn't have to worry about if I'm going to get yelled at for misgendering you.
Well, I got my ass chewed out in, where the hell were we at? Maine. Went to a store, a Dollar General.
Oh.
And I got a case of water.
Yeah.
And looked up and some long-haired, pink, blue hair shit. Walked by and I said, "Where's the water at?" "Aisle 4. I said, "Thank you, ma'am." "Sir." Look around like, well, fuck, don't
have pink long hair.
Fucking couldn't tell what you were. Even after he said that, I couldn't figure it out for sure.
Yeah.
But don't get upset because I was being polite. "Thank you, ma'am," or "Yes, sir," or "Thank you, ma'am," I think is what I said. "Sir." It's "sir." Well, whatever you say, bud. I don't really think you're a sir, but if that's what you go by. I saw a lady the other day, had pink and blue hair, and had a shirt on, the ICE shirt, anti-ICE, and had the LGBTQ deal on too. And you know what the problem is? There ain't nobody wants to date her ass. It's a man anyways. That's why she's a lesbian. Ain't no man wants to date her ass.
Yeah.
But man, those people they're fucking far out there. What is the fascination with these colored hair anyways? I don't understand that. Like, I can understand a girl that's blonde headed wanting to be brown, or a brown haired girl wanting to be blonde, or wanting to be red, or something like that. But why the fuck the pink and have you ever seen anybody attractive with pink and blue hair?
No, I just saw something on Facebook though that said people that do the wild hair swings have mental. I don't think
that's
it's
what
mental,
I'd say
I don't think
too.
it's mental illness was the word that they use, but basically they're more mentally unstable than the average person. So that would make sense, especially in Durango, Colorado. Lots of sandals with socks. That's the crowd that's in Durango, Colorado. Lots of sandals with socks.
Those old people?
Oh, absolutely not.
That's a young people deal now?
I guess. I'm not a sandal. I'll do flip flops. But if I've got to Velcro myself in, I'm not wearing it. And I'm damn sure not putting on socks because, it's a little chilly. Now let me Velcro myself in with my socks on.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
That's just not a good look. A lot of people were rocking it in Durango. I don't understand it. I don't get it. What do we think about the Epstein release?
I'm a terrible American citizen right now because I haven't been looking at it because I really don't give two shits. I'm tired of it.
Wow.
I'm serious. Everybody that's involved in that needs to burn in hell.
What an about face from just a year ago. Everybody, you were all about releasing the Epstein list. No. You wanted to see it released, and now we're not even paying attention to it.
Hold on. I'm glad they released it. I'm sick of hearing about it. They're not doing nothing about it. I'm sick of it.
Well, that is true.
That's the part I'm sick of. They need to, every one of them some bitches that's involved needs to be buried under the fucking jail.
But like, how can you even tell who's involved?
That's the problem.
Because Trump is on there numerous times. So is Bill Gates. But evidently the email about Bill Gates and the STD, Epstein wrote himself.
Most all that shit is his brother to him, right back and forth.
So like, how much credibility is it?
I do not have a clue.
You know what I mean? Like, we all agree, like, Bill Gates might have, he might have done some sketchy shit on that island, but like the STD story, like, it was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to Jeffrey Epstein. So that looks like it's blackmail.
I think it's all. I think there's a lot of that going on. I mean,
same with Trump.
Anything that you did, if you're involved in that shit, you need to be put in jail. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of the same shit over and over and over and nothing being done about the crap.
Well, nobody's gonna get in trouble.
And I'm tired of that shit. And it's bullshit on that deal. Just like I sit there and see these fucking politicians all sit there and whine about this ICE shit. I wish the American government, I wish the Republicans would come out, and I don't like Republicans much more than I do Democrats, and say, we're going to make it a 50-vote deal. We're going to pass legislation on the SAVE Act. You have to be a citizen of the United States to vote. You have to have an ID to vote, and you're having same-day voting unless you're in the military. I think that's what it should be, a fair election. And I don't know why anybody would be against that, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about that. I'm sick and tired of hearing about Minneapolis and the Somalians. All that fucking money they've stolen and shit, and these people still applaud Tim Walz like he's some kind of hero. We're sick of it. I'm sick and tired of all of our fucking money going to everybody else in the world. I'm sick of all this fucking Epstein shit. Put the motherfuckers in jail.
Well, I guess now you're with me.
Some poor fucker today is going to be in Rancho Cucamonga, California or somewhere today, and he's going to solicit a prostitute on the side of the road, and they're going to arrest his ass and put him in jail and put his pictures and shit, and she's a consenting adult, and he's a consenting adult, and he's going to pay her $100 for sex or whatever. No different. He took her out to dinner and had sex. And he's going to be in trouble. And then these fuckers are diddling these little kids on an island and flying all over. And they're going to get by with that shit. I'm tired of it.
Or somebody's going to get caught with marijuana.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. I am so tired of this shit.
Or somebody's going to owe the government $1,500 from last year's taxes, and they're just going to rake them over with the coals.
And I'm going to tell you about another thing that you talked about that pissed a guy off because he messaged me about it.
I said something that pissed somebody off?
Oh, yeah.
I never do that. What did I say?
You said you have a real problem with the ICE guys having their faces covered. And I said, I don't have a problem with that. And he said, you need to tell Andy that the reason they have to cover their faces
You need to tell Andy?
Yeah.
Why didn't he tell me?
Well, I'll tell him. I'll give him your number.
No,
I'll give him your number.
No, like, you can reach out. I don't want anybody to have my number. You're more than welcome to reach out to me on social.
But he said Those guys go and do their job. And when they find out who their face is, then they attack their kids at school, their wives at their jobs, and everything else that's to protect them. And I agree with him 100%. And I agree with him on that.
How's it any different from like a regular cop?
Regular cops are not doing the same job these guys. There's a lot of cops that nobody knows their faces and shit. Special forces guys, they cover their faces.
Yeah, but they're
stuff.
going after
these guys
terrorists.
are going.
These guys are going after
the
Home Depot workers.
No, it's not just that.
Well,
but the political atmosphere we're in, I don't have a problem at all with these guys not knowing their identity. I don't have an issue with that at all. They're doing their job.
$200K, you might have a new recruit.
Is that what they're paying now?
I thought I saw that. Yeah, the ICE agent's getting like $200,000.
Sign me up.
Go rough up some people, cover your face, ain't got to worry about nothing.
But the shit they have to put up with in these areas, and now the Democrats in Minneapolis, these damn people, they got roadblocks set up just civilians do to make sure you're not an ICE agent going in their neighborhood. They have no jurisdiction. This could all be fixed so quick if the governor and the stuff would just help them get the illegal people out that are bad, or if they would have just turned the people over in jails that commit crimes and send them out. And I got no problem with that.
Are we still going after people that are bad, or are we just going after everybody now?
I don't think they're going after everybody anyways. I think they're trying to focus on bad people, but it's turned into this because they won't cooperate with them.
But didn't they raid a place in Midland, like a construction site?
Are they illegal?
But that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah,
I just asked you, are we only going after people that are bad, or are we going after everybody?
Well,
and you said...
Well, I think that the tension was to try to get, but these places aren't cooperating. First of all, if they're illegal, they're illegal. I'm tired of that shit.
I'm just trying to figure out where your argument is.
I don't have a problem with them taking anybody off that's illegal. Personally, okay. I don't have a problem with it.
But that's not what you said.
But a lot of this shit going on in Minneapolis...
And Minnesota is the only place where violence is broken out.
Yeah, and you know why? Because the state of Minnesota is trying to cover for these people to cover up their own fraud. They don't give a shit about the Somalians. They care about the votes and the fraud. And they're all getting kickbacks from these billions of dollars. But if Minneapolis would have come up to him and said, hey, there's more illegals in Texas and Florida than there are in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I thought I saw like 88,000 in Texas have been taken out. That seems high.
No, it's probably not.
You think so?
But if they would comply and say, hey, we got a guy down here that's illegal and we just arrested him for raping a girl. Okay, he's out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of covering for him. Dipshit in New York City, Mondani. Yesterday, it came out a cam came out, a cop cam, a body cam. A guy tried to threaten to stab his family. They call 911. The cops come in there, and the guy's got a knife. Put your knife down. Put your knife down. He don't put his knife down. He comes at the cops. They shoot him 4 times. The guy's in intensive care. Mondani said, we shouldn't have called the cops. We should have called for social workers. Yeah, and then he slashes his whole family up. Well, he just was mentally, he's having mental problems, not taking his medicine. Mondani says we don't need to file charges on him. When is it the mayor's job to tell policemen what they're supposed to file charges on or not?
Right.
The guy came at a cop with a knife. That's assault with a deadly weapon. And they shot him. The mistake was they didn't kill him.
I'm not finding anything.
On what?
Texas, how many they've deported from Texas.
But
it says Department of Homeland Security reported over 600,000 deportations nationwide in 2025.
They did what now?
600,000 deportations in 2025.
Yeah, and that's not as much as Obama deported.
So maybe Texas was at 88,000.
Probably so. You know, it's funny, the hypocrisy of the whole thing. Now we've got left politicians are big time anti-American. Elizabeth Warren, all of them, they act like they're here for good. It's ridiculous how far left the Democrats have gone on all this shit. But Tom Homan worked for Obama. He deported 2 million people down under Obama or whatever. Obama made him a hero, gave him a Medal of Honor. Great job. Same guy doing the same job, but now he's working for Trump, deporting people, and he's an evil Nazi. It's just crazy how all that works.
New data this was in November. New data shows 1 in 4 ICE arrests happen in Texas.
There you go. But we're not burning the state down. And we've got a huge Mexican population here. You know what? The Mexican population isn't against this shit either.
I did see an anti-ICE rally in Albuquerque.
Well, that's a shithole city.
About 20 people.
Well, that's all the people. Everybody else had jobs.
It was on Saturday.
You know, they had a shooting on the interstate the day before y'all came home. They had the whole thing shut down.
On 40?
On 40.
Oh.
They had the whole shutdown. North and or west and eastbound lanes were both shut down for about a couple hours, I think.
I wish they'd have let me know. I'd have helped.
Well, you could have went from Durango and drove there. It was the night before.
I didn't see it. I had my phone shut off.
I was looking. I've got an app on my phone called Flight Aware, and you can see every phone deal. And when we have helicopters come in, I'll always look on my deal to see where the medical helicopters come in. And we had a couple of kids that had to go to Cooks, so I was looking at the helicopter deal, and I was looking in the Panhandle to see if anything was coming from Lubbock because we had another kid here that we're fixing to ship out, and I was looking to see from Lubbock to, I could see all kinds of helicopter activity at Albuquerque. So I went on it, and they were all along the highway, and I thought, fuck, something's going on. So I looked at my phone. I thought, I'm going to look up Albuquerque. And sure enough, they had a standoff, and they had someone shooting, and they had the roadblock. I thought, boy, Andy would really be pissed if he got stuck on 40 and couldn't go for a while.
I'd have helped him.
You just sit in line like everybody else did for hours.
Showing him a thing or two.
But
I got my CHL. I can help.
You're 100% spot on about New Mexico.
It's horrible.
Santa Fe, Angel Fire, Red River is a beautiful part of the country. Beautiful place. But you get south of there, it's not good. I've never been
98% of New Mexico is just...
Arizona's the same way.
I hadn't spent enough time in Arizona, and I don't plan to.
Wyoming has got absolutely beautiful places, and they got a lot of places the same. Just rugged beauty, I guess you'd call it. Did you know that they're not having horse racing at Ruidoso Downs this year?
Why? Too dry?
The flood.
Oh.
Wiped it out, and they hadn't built it.
Wet.
I ran into my insurance salesman here and his wife. They go every year. They have a
Not doing
RV.
it, huh?
Pulled it. And I said something about, I said, you fixing to go to Ruidoso? She goes, we won't even go this year. I go, what? Y'all ain't going no more? She goes, no. They're not going to have a horse track.
Huh.
I thought, that's going to kill that town.
Yeah. That's too bad. Never been to Ruidoso, but that's too bad.
I haven't either. But that's got to be tough on a little town like that.
Well, since we're a Waterfowl podcast, you want to talk about hot cropping?
Are we going to do that tomorrow with
Logan and
Rebel? We'll talk about all that.
Okay.
We're going to get into that. We're going to dive in on. We're going to do that
what
tomorrow.
Do they know? They're crane hunters. They don't know anything about
They're crane hunters.
We
can talk about
They're
it.
stork hunters.
You want my opinion? Do you?
Go ahead.
My opinion on the hot cropping is, I see both sides of the argument. I see the people in Arkansas and Louisiana's problem, and I see the people in Missouri's their problem with it. People in Missouri aren't doing nothing illegal. It's legal. What they're doing is legal.
You can bring water to corn.
My problem I have with it is if I build a slough out here, it's 100 acres, and I go put corn inside of it, then I'm baiting.
Yep. You can't bring corn to water.
Water and corn, same thing.
It's the order that you do it in.
It's the same. There's
you
two
can bring
ingredients.
water to corn, but you can't bring corn to water.
Okay.
We all understand that.
If it's legal for you to plant corn just for the sole purpose of flooding it to shoot ducks on, you're doing the same thing I am if I'm dumping corn in the water.
Yeah, but you got a little bit of stake in the game. You've tended to your crop, you've watered it, you've nurtured it. Maybe you've gone out a couple times and talked to it while it's growing.
You don't think it's rich man legal baiting?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there you go. That's my point.
But Jeff, that's not the way the law's written.
No, I know. They're not breaking a law. I'm not, and I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
If I had the means and the place and I lived up there and I could do the same thing, I would do the same exact thing. So first of all, for all the people that are all getting pissy with me about it, bitching about it, because I'm going to get some, I've been doing this a long freaking time. And I've been around this game a long time. And in the last 15 years, it has dramatically changed. And if you don't think flooding corn changes the migration a little bit, you're not being honest with yourself. Now, if it didn't work,
they wouldn't do it.
Next year, just flood them fields. Don't plant any corn in them. Just flood all that water and see how many ducks you have compared to a year when you flood corn on it. So yes, it does change stuff. Are you breaking the law? No. Would I do the same thing? Yes. I understand how frustrated it is because we're at the bottom of the flyway and we had no winter till the last couple of weeks. And my last 3 weeks of hunting season overall was really, really, really good. First part was terrible because we had no winter. We got ducks everywhere now because we finally had winter. So yes, winter plays as big a factor as everything else does in it. And I'm not shooting those ducks in the Mississippi Flyway anyway, so it doesn't affect me. But I'm sure there's more ducks in Louisiana now. Yes, Louisiana has hurt themselves. They don't have near as much grain as they used to. They have more sugar cane. Has a huge thing on it. But yes, the Missouri, all the around along that area from Kansas City to St. Louis, all along the Missouri River where they've got all that corn, it does change. It does alter the migration because it stalls it out.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Before you started Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, before this was a goose mecca, what did you shoot?
I shot ducks.
What year?
What do you mean what year? I grew up duck hunting.
What years?
From 1978. I was 10 years old. I was hunting before that. I was about 8 and Tony was 5. So 1976, 77, I started
And then
duck
in
hunting.
the mid-'80s, the ducks disappeared and they were replaced with geese. What do you blame it on then?
I don't what you're getting on.
What do you blame the ducks not coming down here on then?
Oh, we had a loss in duck. We still had ducks, but we had the numbers, the population changed.
Okay. What are you going to blame it on?
I don't understand how this coincides.
Where's the hot cropping in the 80s when West Texas, Knox City lost their ducks?
It wouldn't have affected us because they're not hot cropping north of us.
That's what I'm saying. The ducks shifted naturally. They went somewhere else.
We're not talking about Knox City. We're talking about Louisiana and Arkansas, Missouri.
I'm talking about ducks in general.
Okay.
You grew up duck hunting Knox City.
No, I grew up duck hunting around Wichita Falls.
You grew up duck hunting in Texas.
Okay. And I did hunt here a lot too. So, okay. And we had a ton of ducks then.
And you had a ton of ducks. It was a some would call it a mecca, Jeff.
Okay, a mecca.
Some would call it a duck mecca. You were sitting on. Just you, little Tony, alcoholic Ron with his cigarettes and his coffee can with toilet paper and lighter fluid.
That was our buddy.
Yeah, that was your buddy here. Y'all had a great time. You had a great childhood. You shot tons of ducks.
Yes.
And then the ducks left.
No, they never left.
They left.
No, we still were shooting ducks, but we started goose hunting.
Not in the numbers. Not in the duck numbers from when you were a kid.
Hold on. My last times I was still duck hunting. We were still shooting just about ducks.
Were there as many ducks?
We were still shooting the shit out of them. I just started goose hunting.
I can tell you now that the ducks, if you're not a liar, which I don't think that you are, maybe you've got things misremembered from your childhood. The ducks aren't here compared to the way I never remember the ducks being here compared to the way that you talk about it from your childhood.
Okay.
And I've been hunting a long time.
Hold on. We don't have the water we had back when I was a kid duck hunting here, for one thing.
Okay. Habitat change.
Habitat has changed.
Okay.
Also, the reason we started goose hunting was the duck limits went down to 3 ducks, I believe. And we started goose hunting instead of duck hunting.
So you would figure that the ducks would be here in abundance. The limit just fell. It's a safe haven. It went from 6 to 3. You figured the ducks would be telephoning their buddies. Hey, they can only shoot 3 of us.
We were still shooting tons of ducks. And this year, my buddy Rustin, where he hunts around Wichita, where I grew up hunting, he shot ducks all year this year too. So even when we had a down year, they were still shooting ducks. I grew up, we shot a ton of ducks. We never had years we didn't kill no ducks. We just started goose hunting and crane hunting. My dad really started chasing cranes a lot when I was in high school, so I did a lot of that. Daniel Carter. I'll call him back.
Maybe he's giving you a tornado report.
I doubt that's going to happen.
We're getting spring weather.
Well, I wish.
No, it's spring weather. It's in the 80s.
Well, I know. But we were still shooting ducks. We started chasing cranes a lot with my dad. So we didn't duck hunt as much as we did.
But what about our area? You
we crane hunted up here. We crane hunted up here.
Ooh, you talk about all the ducks on Winchester Lake.
We used to shoot a ton of them. They're
not here.
I understand.
They quit coming here.
What's at Winchester Lake right now? It's dry.
Wheat.
That's why. I don't understand how this has to do with the hot crop and stuff.
The ducks left our area naturally. I got to put in another one of these. You're driving me crazy.
You're talking in circles. Just has nothing to do with anything. Yes, you are.
They left here naturally. They left here because of habitat change. They left here because of natural milder winters. They left here because of drier climates. It just happened. It sucks. Why'd the Canada geese leave?
Food, drought.
Shit that's out of our control. They went to another place. It sucks.
Okay.
The ducks are no different. They quit going to South Louisiana because of, and I do want to preface this. I think it's good that they're going to look into it. I applaud that. But I don't know how you're going to get a 1-to-1. I don't know how you're going to measure this because, like we talked about, mild winters, drier conditions. Like if you're gonna look at things from 70s, 80s, and 90s, I don't know how you're gonna like get them on a 1-to-1 scale with today's
Every year's
milder
different.
winters and drier winters. So I don't know, like in any experiment, like you got to have a constant. You got to have something to compare it to. Well, you can't do that because winters vary. Like what if next year it's cold and dry? And Louisiana and the southern states, Louisiana and Arkansas.
Are we going to talk about our area or their areas? Because this is where I'm confused. Because you brought in our area. I wasn't talking about our area when I was talking about the hot cropping. Because it doesn't affect us.
I was just talking about ducks in general.
Ducks numbers. I think duck numbers are way down.
I was just talking about duck. I'm just talking about ducks in general. They can leave an area. This was a prominent area for duck hunting. You talked about it ad nauseum about your childhood shooting ducks in our area. We don't have ducks like that anymore.
But when we have a lot of water, we do have ducks still.
I can't get out of this.
But you're right on that. But what I was talking about with Louisiana is I understand the frustration the guys in Louisiana have.
And I'm glad they're looking at it.
But they don't have near the crops that they used to have.
40%, according to Outdoor Life. I saw this the other day. I saved it.
I got to pee. Again. Hold on. I got to piss.
Okay. According to Outdoor Life, North Dakota has lost approximately 60% of its wetland habitat. The Gulf Coast has lost approximately 40% of its capacity for wintering ducks. These are just two examples of waterfowl habitat that's disappeared around the continent. The harsh reality is that unless there are large investments in waterfowl habitat, think boosting CPR in the Farm Bill, coastal restoration, revitalizing wildlife refuges, and beyond, duck hunting is not going to get any easier anytime soon.
Okay, I'm 100%. I agree with you on everything you've said on that. And like I said before, they're not breaking a law. I would do the same thing. What I said was, if you think it doesn't change migration, I think you're wrong. I think it stalls the birds up there. We haven't had any snow in any winter in about 10 years, hardly. If we got a big front, like we have ducks now everywhere because we finally got some winter and got cold up north. And it made it tougher for everybody in the South this year. But if we had, we get just enough winter for those birds to get to that area in Missouri. In our flyway, the birds get up to Washington State and Montana and they stall out because there's nothing to push them there.
Colorado has a lot. We're goose hunters, so right. Colorado sees.
That holds a lot of birds. Yep. When you have a regular winter, it pushes them birds out of there.
Right.
Well, same thing in Louisiana and Arkansas. Arkansas still has a lot of food and water and stuff. Louisiana's got a lot of water and they don't have as much food. So it's affecting them. But those birds are stalling in Missouri because there's food and water and nothing to push them out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if they do, and I don't know how, that's what I'm going back to this study. Like they're gonna investigate it, which I think is a good thing. But I don't know how they're going to, especially if we have a mild winter like we did this year. It was 90 degrees on Christmas here. Most of the nation was above average. I think East Coast, I think they're kind of cold right now. But like if you look into this on a year like this year, then yeah, you're gonna see that ducks are stopping in Missouri. Is that because of hot cropping, or is that because that's just as far south as they have to go?
It's a mixture of both. And now we're on 2 or 3 or 4 years of it. And so it's imprinted in them ducks and they don't migrate as far.
But will they, if we could get this big 1984 polar vortex, like you talked about, that brought the small Canada goose to Knox City, are we just one of those away from southern states having the ducks again?
Okay.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how they're going to do this study because winters were so different back then.
It would change for sure. But here's this now on this. Well, I'm going to have to listen and talk a bunch of shit at Turkey about this now. God dang it. So the guys that are flooding in Missouri or Nebraska or Iowa, wherever they're doing this at.
Idaho.
Wherever they do it all over the place. People do it everywhere.
According to Snacks, not Nebraska.
It's going on in Snacks and shit. But you've got 100 acres of corn and you flood it.
Yep.
And you flood it to the first ear.
Yeah.
And then you come back 30 days later and you flood it up to the next ear of corn. Well, you're keeping, let's say 5,000 ducks, just 5,000 ducks. I don't know how many ducks are on it. Just use an example. Those 5,000 ducks can stay on that water for 2 months. Now, they'll get nocturnal. They'll get some pressure on them, but they got food and water all the time, constant. So they're happy right there. So life's great. If you get some winter time on that and then turn the ice eaters on, those ducks still have food and water, so they're still there. But if you took all that water out of there and you just had corn and you chopped the corn or whatever, those ducks would feed in there for 10 days. They'd eat all that field out and they'd go somewhere else.
Do you think ice eaters are also the problem? Like, are we going to get to? Are you going to get to? Are we going to get to a point like further down the line where you can't run?
I don't blame them for doing it. It's legal, but it makes
understand. But if you can keep your water open,
that helps you.
Are we going to get to it?
I don't know. I saw where some people are trying to change it where you can't use them no more either. But that's the point.
Open water.
You look in the last 20 years, and we'll use Arkansas for example, because I've heard a lot of guys in Arkansas really complaining about a lot of things this year, and people reach out to me about shit all the time about this because they want me to talk about it. Because when we talk about it, other people talk about it, but everybody's talking about it anyways. They don't want to talk about the mud motors.
Being able to access
they can go places those ducks don't ever have a rest anymore, and then they get nocturnal. But I think if the hot cropping don't work, or whatever you want to call it, the flooded corn, if it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. If you want to do a study, say, okay, 1 year nobody can plant, we can't flood no corn. You just got to plant moist soil stuff and go. Yeah. You know what? There'd be less ducks there. I really believe that. I believe if you took that area up in Missouri that holds 500,000 ducks everybody talks about all the time, if you took away that flooded corn and you just flooded it and made it just natural stuff, that 500,000 ducks would probably be 200,000 ducks. And those other 300,000 ducks would be looking for other places to go eat.
What pisses me off about the whole thing is there's been a big number of guys on the southern end of the flyways that have been bitching about this for years. And it took a senator, it took his honey hole not getting ducks for anything to finally come about it. People have been screaming at the top of their lungs
for 20 years.
Since we've been doing this podcast, probably longer than that.
We'll say 20 years.
That something's been going on and it's stopping the ducks. They've been screaming at the top of their lungs. We don't get the ducks, we don't get the ducks, we don't get the ducks. And in 2025, 2026, it took a sitting senator to be like, oh, there's no ducks for me to shoot this year. I should probably look into that. Rules for thee and not for me. That's what pisses me off more than anything. Like, let's say that these guys are right. Let's say that everybody that's been complaining about flooding corn, let's say they're right, and it has stopped the migration. We're just now going to do something about it because the senator's honey hole, isn't that good?
You know what's funny is
had a down year, and now we're going to do this big study.
The guys.
What about the average Joe that's been complaining about this for years now?
That what I find interesting. I don't even know if it's interesting world. It's the hypocritical side. Americans, as a general, if it makes us happy and our life's good, we're all for it. Mm. We don't ever see the other side. This doesn't affect me one way or another. First of all,
you don't know that it could
on the record. It don't affect us at all.
You don't know?
No, there's no. It does not affect us at all. So we're pretty unbiased on this deal. But I understand the frustration of the Louisiana and Arkansas guy, and I understand the guy in Missouri. And I'm just using Missouri. I'm picking on them.
He gets to hunt longer.
I don't blame him.
Illinois.
I would do the same thing. If I had the means and I wasn't in the hunting business and I just had my own place, and I could flood 100 acres of corn and I'd have a place for me to hunt for 60 days with a pit heated and shit, I'd be all for it, ice eaters. I got no problem with that. But I'm also not stupid enough to say, oh, it doesn't bother nobody. It doesn't affect the birds at all. Bullshit, you wouldn't do it if it didn't. That's my whole thing. And so when the guys up north are like, oh, it's just an excuse because they've lost this and they've lost that. They have. But also, you're holding birds that 30 years ago you wouldn't have been doing because 30 years ago we didn't have ice eaters. And we didn't have flooded corn 30 years ago much. There was probably
we got snow.
But we also had winter. You're right. But
so that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you're going to.
Even if we get winter, they're going to keep those birds there with the ice eaters. Because food and water is open. You can go to right now, you could go to Peace River, Alberta. And I'll bet you if you've got a hot springs or water around there and there's no snow on the ground and there's food and there's open water, there's still a shitload of mallards up there. Trevor told me the other day that there's still 1.5 million ducks north of them, and he's in Spokane, Washington.
But that's what I keep going back to. Is I don't know how they're going to conduct an unbiased study factoring in the mild winters. I don't know how you're going to look at that. I don't know how you're going to look at data from the 80s and 90s and be like...
You can't correlate them together. There's no way. Because there's too many variables.
But I mean, like, you got to establish a baseline to have an accurate experiment.
Right.
And I just don't... Listen, I'm the last person that probably needs to be talking about this because I'm not very bright, and I just cannot wrap my head around how you're going to get an accurate report.
You're not. You're 100% correct.
And so I don't know what we're going to get out of this at the end of the day.
How are you going to prove
beyond a shadow of a doubt that yes, this duck in Illinois would have gone down to Arkansas had it not been this. I don't understand what we're going to get out of this report.
You're not going to get nothing except you're going to get the feds more involved, and it's going to fuck up something for everybody. So what's going to happen? Anytime you ask the government to get involved with something, unless you're a Somalian daycare worker, it does not work out good for you. So that's the bottom line to the whole deal. But like I said, I see both sides. I would do the same thing.
Unless, I guess you could, and I don't know how you would do this. 1 year, you don't get to do any of this. No hot cropping. We'll call it hot cropping. No flooded corn. You don't get to do it. It's off the table. Then maybe you could see. But that would be the only way. No ice eaters. And then maybe you could see if they went south.
That was my argument with one of the guys called me the other day and he was talking to me about it. I was like, listen, I said, I get where you're coming from. I agree with you. What you're doing is legal. I'm not saying you've done anything wrong. I just said I understand the frustration for the guys south of you, why they're upset. I said, but I understand what you're doing. But I said, if you don't think that changes keeping those ducks around longer, then don't flood corn. Just flood your water and see a difference. It makes a huge difference because they got food and water. And you can't do year by year because every year's different. Next year, we might have a cold-ass winter. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be like, and the same time you have a cold-ass winter, let's say nobody's allowed to flood corn.
Right.
And then there's ducks all over, and they're like, I knew it was the ducks.
Told you.
Then the next year, you don't have any winter at all, and then the ducks stay up north again. But we don't have winter. We don't have snow. And that's had a lot to do with it. But this is I'm telling you right now, we're leaving to go to Turkey next week.
Yeah.
There is going to be someone almost getting a fist fight over this. Someone from Louisiana and Arkansas and somebody from Missouri or Nebraska or Illinois, and they're going to get in a big deal. I had a guy here hunting with us just a couple weeks ago, and he told me, he said, we hunt over flooded corn all over up there. And he goes, it ain't helped us a bit sometimes. I'm sure that's probably true. And this guy had no reason to lie to me.
Yeah.
He told me, he said, I hunt over flooded corn all the time. He said, we ain't had no ducks all year where we're at. And some places have. And some places are better than others. But
I just think on a year like this year, it wouldn't have mattered.
Nope. We had no ducks all year until now. Now they're everywhere.
So now let me ask you this. Did the northern states, did they go out a week earlier?
Oh, some of them have been out of the season, like Happy in Iowa. I think they've been out a month.
So this is what I'm asking. We got all of our winter January 28th, 26th?
Like 23rd or 24th.
Were they out then?
Yeah, duck season already been closed there for a month in some places.
For Missouri?
Some places not. Missouri, I think, would have been shut down like 15th maybe of January.
So were all the ice eaters off? And that's why we got this big number of ducks?
Ducks don't come from Missouri.
Had it been... Well, either way, Nebraska and all the other stuff where Snack says there are no ice eaters and stuff. Were the ice eaters off? And that's why we got our ducks.
Oh, the river's never flooded up. The Platte's not flooded or not frozen up.
But ponds and shit are.
Yeah, but
we froze up here.
But there's still rivers that were open everywhere up there.
But did we get our ducks because the ice eaters were off?
I think we just got ducks because we finally got some winter to push some ducks down, but there's still not a lot of ducks here. There's so many things in our federal framework with waterfowl.
But do you see what I'm asking?
Yes, I understand where you're coming from. Same as one of the guys up north told me that we flood corn to give all the ducks and birds places to get through the winter time. Blah 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 blah. Well, as soon as duck season's over, you pull your boards and drain your fields. So are you doing it for? Don't blow smoke up our ass. We know why you're doing it, and I don't blame you.
If this front would have been January 1, and other northern states would have still been in duck season. Everybody's running ice eaters as much as they can.
I still think we'd still have the ducks.
You think we'd have gotten the duck push?
Big portion of them, yes.
Really?
Yeah, I think whatever we got on this push, we'd have got if it had come a month earlier.
So now you're saying that it doesn't work.
What doesn't work?
The flooded corn and the ice eaters.
I'm talking about our flyway. There's not enough ice eaters in between north of us holding birds up.
You don't think so?
No. But you get around some of these refuges,
and
then you've got these hunt clubs around there, and they keep open water and food, and there's no snow, they're not going.
But I would be interested to know if the guys in the states that have seen a decrease in their duck numbers, if they saw a bunch of ducks after season.
Oh, another thing that hurts that flyway is all the hot water around Chicago with the nuclear power plants and stuff. Mm-hmm. Those big lakes hold a lot of birds that don't. That's the birds that used to go to southern Illinois now stay around Chicago. Mm-hmm. It has to get really, really, really cold, and they'll go to Illinois, and then they'll be there for a week or two. And as soon as it thaws up, it's like someone's got a phone and says, "Hey, Bob says it's back open," and they go back north. There's a lot of variables. We ain't had no snow. I mean, you get in the snowmobile business. There's no snow nowhere.
I know.
You just come back from skiing. But
Most of us
there's-
saw was in Knox City.
There's still birds all over the place in Canada, and that used to not be the norm. But if you take a duck, and if he's got food and he's got open water, he will stay in the Antarctic just about.
No,
So-
you're going further than he has to.
And so that's one of the things that has affected Louisiana and Arkansas and Missouri. Missouri is the creme de la creme right now for shooting greenheads. Southeast Kansas, Roy Carter and them have shot a ton. They had a good season. They're far enough north. They're far enough north that they're getting the benefit of what's happening. They got food and they've got water, and they get just enough to push the birds. And there's been the hatches that they've had, them birds have been printed to go back. And in our business, jealousy's all about it. If you're on birds and Bob's not, Bob's mad, and there's always a reason why. That's just the way it is. And I understand the frustration from them guys in the South. We had a hard year this year. We had a horrible year. We had some really good hunts. The last couple of weeks were really good, but we didn't have any winter. I've had 2 or 3 calls this week from groups that went hunting somewhere else, got dates from me. And I asked one guy, I said, y'all hunt every year and go on a trip? Because usually I can tell you, oh yeah, this year we went to so-and-so outfitter. I said, oh, okay. He said, well, it wasn't any good. We hunted 3 days, blah, blah. I said, yeah, it was tough everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, but he's looking to come hunt now with us. Matter of fact, got booked to hunt with me. And I'm like, you know,
We had the same
we
thing
had the
here.
same boat that, you know, and I told guys that. I said, we had a tough year also. Yeah, I know, but blah, blah, blah. No, you don't know no buts about it. We all had tough seasons. If you've hunted with an outfitter for 2 or 3 years and he gives you good food and your accommodations are good and he bust his ass and he hunted and you had a hard year, it wasn't nothing that guy did different than he did 3 years before that.
Yeah.
It was just every year's different.
You know, it's funny. So we have our YouTube series that comes out every year. My cousin films it. Very, very talented at what he does. Very great. But he filmed with us November, December, and January. And he even said, because on the last couple of hunts, they were really, really good. They were bangers. And he was like, man, like I never understood. I've always heard you say that you work harder on the bad hunts than you do the good hunts. He's like, I see that firsthand now. He's like, I saw the lengths that you were willing to go in November and December to get a handful of birds on the ground. He's like, now the hunting's good. And it's like, you really like, you don't even really have to be here. Like you can get a monkey on a goose call when it's good and you're on the X and they're going to come in regardless. But like, it's unfair.
You young,
it's unfair.
flat-billed guys need to listen to that.
It's unfair to a lot of outfitters that they get judged off of a bad year, because at the end of the day, like you said, you should be judged on accommodations and how you were treated at the lodge.
If you work hard.
But unfortunately, you're only judged on if or not you shot birds.
Yep.
And like I'm telling you, man, like so many days in November and December when things were tough and it was 85 degrees and the wind wasn't blowing and the geese did not have to eat. We had more fields. We'd scout the night before. We'd every place we hunted in November and December.
I don't think we
Wasn't
ran
feeding.
traffic all year long.
Snacks and I did one day, and we shot a limit.
Okay, with it, but we
It was
didn't run.
that high wind day.
Okay, but we didn't run traffic very often.
No, not very often.
We had plenty of fields with birds.
And like I would go out and I would throw just every bag of tricks that I knew how to do in November and December, and it was for nothing. And I would work my ass off. I would call. I would not call. I'd call a little bit. You just couldn't figure them out. And I worked harder in December and January than I ever remember.
Which usually are the easy.
Which usually November's a layup because
Yep.
they're early here. And then in January, when it finally got kind of cold and the birds had to eat and they got into these big flocks, it was automatic. I mean, minimal effort. There were days that it was just easy. But a good guide, works way harder on the days that it doesn't work out than on the days that you're just can't keep them out of your spread.
I know a younger guy that hunts at a really good area. Last couple of years been really good, and they kill just small geese.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's God's gift to goose guiding.
Been there.
Well, I got news for you, bud. I can't blow a goose call. I had a guy call me the other day, wanted me to see if I could tune his call for him. I said, but you barked up the wrong tree. I can't even blow a call.
You should do it.
I can't blow a call at all. But I used to kill the shit out of the geese. And I'd shoot a limit every morning. I'd be done by 8:30. It wasn't because of Jeff Stanfield. It was because I was shooting those small geese and they're dumber than hell.
Yeah.
And if you're on the X, you're on the, and I hunted the X every day. And so I laugh when I see these guys and they act like they're this great goose guide and stuff. That guy, I'm not saying he's not a good hunter, because I'm sure he is, but your skill level is not what making you kill those birds at all. Because you could take a mentally incapacitated person that's never hunted at all, kind of, and put him in the blind and run it, and he can kill birds on them days, because them birds are just not very smart. They're aggressive feeders, and they fight each other to get in the spread real fast.
I noticed it with the specks this year. As soon as it turned cold and they got into bigger flocks, and I've said this before, I think the absolute worst flock size for a speckled-belly goose is that 15 to 25. It's not big enough. They're not aggressive, but if you get a flock of over 75,
they're fighting to get in.
They're fighting to get in. It's limited resources. They're cold. They have to eat, and they want to be the first on the ground, and you can talk them into a bad situation.
Yep.
But whenever it's mild, like it was in November and December, it was 85 here on Christmas. I wore flip-flops and shorts to every Christmas that I went to this year. January, it got a little bit colder. Last part of January, it was really cold, and the birds were in big numbers. And you get aggressive on your call, and they do silly things. But when it's mild and they don't have to eat, and they can kind of cherry pick where they go, and like, I've kind of seen that before, whatever, we'll go over to Billy Bob's field and we'll eat there, and that'll be good enough. But when it gets cold, they start doing dumb things. And when they're in big groups, they do even dumber things because they're trying to be the first one to land. And I think Canada geese are just that in a nutshell. The lesser Canada goose is that in a nutshell. It's big flocks. They're in a hurry to land. They're in a hurry to be the first in the field. And it's kind of this keeping up with the Joneses a little bit with lesser Canada geese. They want to be the first there and start eating. And I noticed that with speckled bellies this year. Whenever they got into their big groups in the mornings, just monster spins. But it was all because it was cold and they had to eat.
Yeah, the weather makes a big difference. And that is going to make a big difference. If we had regular winters, I think the hunting in Louisiana.
What is regular though now? I mean, we're
right
20,
now is what we've
20
had.
years of this. Like, I feel like this is regular now.
Yeah, I don't have an answer. I don't have no idea what's normal or not normal.
I mean, we're going on 20 years of hot, mild, dry, with occasional spurts of wet and cold.
I think also
1 year we shot a lot of ducks. 1 year, I think it was like 2018, we flooded here.
Yep.
Shot a lot of gadwalls that year.
I think that, well, anyways, back to our federal. I was going to talk about the federal stuff. It's kind of like the hunting on a feedlot. It's illegal to hunt a feedlot. For some reason, some people can get by with it, but you can't do it down here. You're not allowed to hunt a feedlot. But can you hunt the field next to a feedlot? Can you hunt a half a mile away? Can you hunt a mile away? Because I want to get a federal game warden on here that would explain, because it's always the discretion of a game warden.
It's a baited bird.
It's considered a baited bird. But if you hunt between that bird and the water where he's going, they can get you for hunting over bait.
Yes.
But what's the distance?
There is no distance.
Okay. So are the guys that are hunting those ducks on the water that are coming back from feedback to water, are they still shooting them same birds? Yes.
It's a baited duck.
It should, yeah. But you don't hear about them guys getting tickets. But then I have a guy here that hunted in Minnesota, and he said they got a ticket for hunting a baited field. And he said the field was 2 miles away, and it was a cut pea field or something. He was explaining to me. I didn't understand how.
Baited duck.
And they didn't even know about it. I'm like, that's bullshit. That's the stupid shit that our federal government does on some things.
So what were they doing? They were looking at where they were going from the feedlot?
They were hunting between,
or where they were going from that pea field?
Yeah, they were going. They were hunting between the water and the pea field,
right?
And they were running traffic.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh no, that's a baited field there." And he said, "We don't have nothing to do with that field. That's a mile and a half away. Them birds they're influenced, and that's where they're going there for." I think that's bullshit.
I agree, but the way the law is written,
but one game warden reads it that way, another game warden wouldn't think nothing of it. There's just
I agree.
I think that if the government really wants to get involved in this shit, they could also fix some books on that stuff. You should say, "Hey,
man, I don't know," but like,
you can't hunt a feedlot, but you can hunt if you're a half mile away from a feedlot. It's okay to hunt there.
But what if they just say any period, full stop? We're not revising the law. Baited duck is a baited duck, and now all of a sudden, game wardens are writing 10x tickets because everybody in this 5 mile circle or however big you want to make it is hunting these ducks. So now all of a sudden, everybody's getting in trouble. Now you want the federal government to get involved, but now we're going to start writing more tickets because everybody in that area is hunting this baited duck.
No, I want them to come up with. I wish they would come
You want
up
them
with
to revise the
I want
law.
them to come up with a linear definition of what to and from is on a baited on a feedlot.
Period.
If you're hunting on a feedlot and you're within a half mile of it,
No.
if you're I understand. I wish they would come in and say, because let me tell you something. If there's a feedlot 5 miles away and you're running traffic on ducks in a field somewhere and you're shooting ducks, that's no different than ducks flying anywhere else. They're not coming there because of that feed. The feed's over there.
They're doing that flight path because of that feedlot.
But you're not hunting the feedlot.
You're hunting a duck that would not be flying that path.
How do you know where it'd go?
Once again, how are you going to do this study? But all I'm saying
I'm just saying they need to come up with a.
But they're not going to. What if they just say full stop? The law is what the law is. If you're hunting a duck that is coming from a feedlot or a baited site, that is a baited duck. Full stop. Black and white. Done. Now what?
That's what the law should be. The law somewhere, but you cannot have it where a guy's hunting a lake 3 miles away and those mallards are going to feed. Let's say in Nebraska you get a feedlot and you've got 3 lakes around there and the ducks all come off that and go feed. So nobody can shoot ducks on them lakes?
Exactly. The way the law's written, yes.
That's what I'm saying. And then you're going to get some game warden that's going to say, hey, I'm writing a ticket for that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have another game warden that says, that don't have nothing to do with them ducks. Some ducks.
How do you know?
That's why I wish they would come up with a linear deal. If you're hunting in a feedlot, I understand that. But if you're hunting not in that feedlot and you're hunting next to feedlot, you're not hunting over bait. You're hunting a field, though. You're just hunting ducks that are going to go to that feedlot, but you're tricking them into going into a different field. I don't think you're breaking the law. I don't.
I agree with you.
Okay, that's good enough. Let's just end it there, Michelle.
No, but I'm just saying that that's not the way the law's written.
No, I know, and I wish they would clean up some of these laws and some of the rules on some stuff. I think this is some of the things that they could do to make it easier on the hunter. We're hunting numbers, and this is what really sucks about this whole thing.
No, I'll tell you what really sucks about this whole thing.
Hunters are fighting over nothing.
No, what sucks about this whole thing is that you always get these easy stances, and to make the show more entertaining, I have to take the devil's advocate stance, and I get painted as the asshole.
So you're agreeing with me on this stuff I've talked about?
1,000%
Okay,
I
well
agree
then
with
that's what people want to know.
No, but I agree with you, but that's not the way the law is written.
Okay.
The law is not written that way. The law is baited duck is a baited duck.
And I said yes. And I said I wanted to see them change the law.
But how can anybody come up with a reasonable distance that duck is not influenced by that field?
A quarter of a mile, half mile, a mile. I don't care. Just come up with something.
What is it? How can you be sure that if you are outside of that mile circle that you are good at not hunting a baited duck?
Well, I didn't say a mile. I think if you're not in
what you're saying.
If you're not in an actual feedlot where they're feeding feed, then you're not hunting over bait.
So you think 200 yards away is
if you're not where they're being baited, yes, I think you're legal.
You're silly.
No, I do believe that.
You're silly.
Nope. I think so. I think if
you can get so many lucky duck spinners going that you can pull a duck a half mile away from a feedlot. That's a baited duck.
But you're not going to bait. You're not hunting over bait.
You're hunting a duck in large numbers that would not be going to that spot. And you're only a half mile away. You're 800 yards away. You can get 15 lucky duck spinners going, and it's going to attract those ducks because they're curious critters.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but you're not hunting over bait.
You're not hunting over bait, but you're hunting a baited duck, and that's what the law is.
Then how far is the distance? That's what I just said.
That's what I'm asking you. I don't know how anybody can with 100% accuracy say this is the line. It's a mile and a half.
That's why I think it ought to be if you're not hunting over bait, you're not breaking the law.
You're hunting a baited duck.
But,
you're not hunting over bait. You're hunting a baited duck.
Then if you're 10 miles away, you're doing the same thing. I think, okay. And then what about the places like the federal government would actually, they feed these ducks at these refuges?
But yes, I want to go back to this and clarify this. I think it is a bullshit deal. Like if you're hunting that duck and you're a certain distance away, yes, you're just trafficking ducks at that point.
Yep, and that's what I think too.
So
if you're not hunting over
so go
bait,
to what you were about to say.
The feds, they'll go to some refuges and they'll put food out. They're feeding these birds on some of these refuges.
What?
Yes, they plant stuff. They do all kinds of stuff at refuges. They're keeping the birds there. They feed for them. But if you go hunt on a field next to it, it's still a baited field that you're hunting next to, the confluence of a baited bird, but it's on a refuge.
I'm confused. I've never known that
the government,
put out corn.
They do all kinds of stuff. They manipulate crops at places. Just shred milo and leave it out for the birds to feed and stuff.
But it's not considered hunting a baited duck if you're trafficking them next to the refuge?
No.
It's not.
No, you just hunting next to a refuge. But it's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. the rules are so vague on so many different things. Like in regular life, any other law, there's a standard for it.
Yes.
Except for public intoxication. That is at the discretion. That's right.
Right.
That's what we deal with all this other shit with this waterfowl stuff.
Right.
So a game warden's discretion. If a game warden's like, no, that's bullshit. It's an uninfluenced bird.
Right. So if you get a prick for a game warden,
you can be in trouble. It's like party hunting.
Yep.
Every outfitter in America could get a ticket for party hunting.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, it's a vague law.
Let's make the rules easier for people.
How are you going to make party hunting easier?
You got 5 guys, you can shoot 30 birds. If that's your limit. If you're under 30 birds, then everybody's legal.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be like a dad taking his 2 kids out and they're 4 and 2, and then now he's like, I got 2 licenses for my boys, so like
they
I can shoot 18.
They got to be shooting. 2-year-old ain't shooting a gun. I mean, there's got to be some common sense on this too, as a game warden would have on that. But if you got 5 men sitting in a blind,
yeah,
and you can shoot 30 fucking ducks,
yeah,
and you shot 27 ducks, and a game warden comes up and he wants to write someone a ticket because, well, this guy's killed 8 and this one's 5. How do you know? You know, make it easier. Hunters, this is what I was getting at earlier. Hunters are having a hard enough time as is with all the anti-hunters. Have you seen all these videos out of Washington and stuff? These Karens on the guys hunting and they're throwing rocks at them and doing all this shit and hollering at them, and they're not breaking the law. They're hunting in a legal spot. We have enough problem with the anti-hunters. The hunters together don't need to be fighting over shit like this corn deal and this other deal. Now you got Joe Kennedy getting involved with it, and he wants to do some backgrounds on this, and they want to do some legislation probably on the road. Well, if they say, you know what, you can't flood corn. Well, what about all them oak trees in Arkansas they flood? You know? Acorns. You flood the shit out of that. You know, even though it's a different kind of crop, you're still flooding it. You know, are we opening up a can of worms? It's kind of like the guide license deal. I think the state of Texas needs to have some kind of requirements to be guiding hunts. You got the jackass out there that shot the whooping cranes at guiding hunts and stuff. He shouldn't be hunting. There are a lot of people like that. And dude, call me again. I really don't give a shit. Call me. But you shouldn't be guiding hunts if you killed some whooping cranes, you know, or if you've had multiple game violations, you shouldn't guide a hunt. But when you get the state of Texas involved with it, or the state of Oklahoma or Missouri or wherever, once you get the state involved, then you just open up a can of worms. And that's what that's where this thing's all headed to. And like I said, I understand the guy's frustration in the South, but I also, if I lived up north and I had the means to do that, I'd be doing the same damn thing. You know, and people say, well, they're spending $100,000 to flood that corn.
Peanuts to a rich man.
If you've got, that's right. If you've got, money's irrelevant if you got a lot of it.
Sure.
You know? So I saw, this has nothing to do with hunting. Jeff Bezos, he laid off 1/3 of the Washington Post. Bernie Sanders came out yesterday. The man's worth $278 billion, and it's bullshit to lay those people off. Yeah, he got $278 billion because he's not a stupid businessman. You got 1/3 of your staff that don't work and you don't need them no more, and nobody reads the newspaper anyways. Why should you keep them around? Money's irrelevant. You know, if you got a lot of it, you can do what you want to do. You know, and his deal was, we bought a $300 million yacht. It's his money. He can do what he wants with it. I wouldn't want to have a $300 million yacht.
Right.
But I would love to have 3,000 acres in Montana where I could flood corn and keep ducks on it all the time or whatever. And so I don't blame the guys that are doing this, but I understand the frustration in the South. Guys need to work together, and this is going to turn into just me and your debate. Just a minute ago, you imagine a guy that's a struggling outfitter in one of these places that don't have no ducks and his customers don't understand and there's no winter and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got some smart ass coming up to you. Oh, we don't affect the ducks now, huh? Well, then why are you flooding them?
Yeah.
If the flooded corn didn't work to keep ducks around you, you wouldn't do it.
I understand the argument. I understand the frustration. I just don't know how you're going to get data that is consistent.
I agree with you.
I just don't know how you're going to show beyond a shadow of a doubt that yes or no, this is doing it with the mild winters, with the lack of snow cover that we're getting. If every year was the same, and yes, we were getting cold winters, and yes, we were getting the snow cover, and you could compare apples to apples, great.
You can't compare apples to apples with weather. Every year's different.
And I am happy that they're looking into this.
Yeah.
I'm happy that they're looking into this because maybe we're going to get an answer yes or no. Yes, it is, or no, it's not. Now, it's probably going to be like the Epstein files where people are like, whatever the answer is, yes or no, one side's going to say it's bullshit. The other side's going to say, I told you so. Right. Like if the guys down south that are pissed off, if they come out, yeah, it's holding up ducks. It's gonna be, yeah, I told you so.
Every year is different. And our year here, did you hunt some places this year you've never hunted before?
I did.
How long have we been doing this? Since you've been, what, 9, 8 years old?
22 years of experience
22
here,
years.
Jeff.
And hunted places you've never hunted before.
Yeah.
On places birds have never been on before.
Yeah.
Next year, they may never be there again.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Every year is different. Every situation's different. And the hunting in Louisiana has deteriorated year after year after year. And it's going to continue to be that way. And a lot of it's got to do with sugar cane. And they don't have all the food crops down there. And we don't have no winter no more like we used to. And that's got a big difference. The ducks have a lot more pressure on them than they used to. You know, there was more hunters in 1965 than there are now. But we didn't harvest as many ducks back then as we do now, I don't think.
Does that not go to what the guys down south are saying? We're getting more pressure, but it's still not pushing the ducks.
Yeah, I mean,
in that 0.1 for.
And the guys from up north are saying, well, Louisiana still killed more ducks than anybody else did. Yeah, they did probably, but there are also a lot more people down there duck hunting, and a lot of guys are killing 3 and 4 ducks instead of killing 20 and 30.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a screwed up deal, and they're killing a lot of Mexican tree ducks that they used to not have 20 years ago. So that's a lot of their bag limit. There's another thing right there. Mexican tree ducks. 10 years ago, we didn't have them. We have them all spring and summer here now. White-winged dove.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you never even saw a white-winged dove up here. I went to San Antonio. The first time I saw a white-winged dove was in like 1982 or 83. I was in San Antonio. I saw one in a parking lot. It's the first time I'd ever seen a white-winged dove. Now I've got 2 dozen of them in my backyard every morning.
Things change, and that sucks.
It does, and that's part. As you get older, it really sucks because you don't want things to change.
Right.
I don't like the new world we live in with technology and kids. I want kids to be kids, to play outside. You can walk outside in the neighborhood right now, and you don't hear no kids playing no more. Nope. When I was a kid, every kid was outside. If you weren't outside, you were sick.
Things change, and it sucks. And I think everybody, like I said, I'm going to talk out both sides of my mouth. Everybody's looking for the boogeyman. Everybody's looking to point fingers at why things aren't the way that they used to be and why things aren't as good as they once were. And everybody wants to find the boogeyman and take him out. We're going to get an answer. I don't know how.
I don't think we get an answer. I don't think nothing changes. But I did see that there was some people really, really wanting to see them do away with ice eaters, and I don't agree with that either. First of all, how are you going to tell a farmer he can't put an ice eater out to keep his water open on his cows? Because if I was every farmer that was cutting ice, I'd have an ice eater, wouldn't you?
There's a difference in
no.
Putting an ice eater for livestock and putting an ice eater so that you can have a good duck hunt on Saturday.
If them cows are drinking in that water and you just happen to hunt over it, it's the same. But do you blame a farmer for doing that?
No, I don't.
Every rancher I have, if I know, I would have every pond I'd have a damn ice eater. Mm-hmm. First time you have to go cut ice with an axe for 3 days or 4 days in a row, you'd be like, I wish I had an ice eater in this son bitch.
But I don't know. And then same side, I see what you're saying as far as, is this going to open a can of worms?
Probably so, is what's probably going to happen. But there's some old boys got some hurt feelings over it. And I really believe at Turkey there's going to be somebody getting a damn squabble over the deal, which is stupid to fight over something that has nothing to, you can't control nothing about it. And everybody down in Louisiana and Arkansas, if they had the ability to flood corn and keep mallards on them, they'd be doing the same damn thing. They're not breaking the law at all.
Yet.
Right now, they're not.
Kennedy might change it.
The Democrats are going to vote with him because they hate hunters.
Right.
Anything anti-hunting, they'd be all for. And that's what we got to do. We got to stick together. We do not need anything anti-hunting because it doesn't help things for anybody in the whole group of people.
Oh, this is a Democrat wet dream.
Oh, I'm telling you.
These people are holding these ducks up just to slaughter them.
Well, that's what they're thinking. Well, God dang it. They're putting food and water together, and it's like shooting them in a zoo.
That one guy.
Because that's what they think. They think you're just going down to Central Park, and there's one little pond with 200 ducks. Yeah. It's the only place they got to go. And hunting over flooded corn does not give you an automatic great hunt every day.
It could tip the odds in your favor, though.
Yes, it does. I think we have ruined the mallard duck. I think that man is detrimental to that duck. It's too adaptive.
I don't know about that.
It's very adaptive, and they get now where they don't. They feed a lot at nighttime now.
Yeah, but part of that is because most of the East Coast mallards are 90% domesticated.
No.
So it's like, we didn't do that.
No. I just think
You and I did.
man has made it manipulated. Maybe is the word I'm looking for. Man has made it easier for these ducks to adapt to some of the things that they've done. I mean, you go to. I know people get sick of me saying when I was a kid, but when I was a kid, you didn't have neighborhoods that had ponds in them with fountains in them and shit like you do now. You go to any new neighborhood in a bigger city, like you can go to Des Moines, Iowa, and there'll be housing projects, and they've got a pond out in the middle of it, and they got a little fountain on it that's open. Well, that's keeping 100 greater geese there. Those birds used to not stay at places like that. The mall in Wichita Falls the other day, there was 500 mallards eating in the acorn trees at the mall parking lot, at dark, and they were coming in at dark. They were feeding all night. That you didn't see that when I was a kid. I mean, then there's places like that all over the place. And so we have added to a lot of the problems that we're having with that one particular duck. You don't see pintails, you don't see gadwalls, you don't see widgeons. It's the mallard. He's very adaptive.
They're all adaptive.
But
they wouldn't have been here that long.
Right. And he's very adaptive, though.
He's lazy.
And the Canada goose is the same way, the big greater Canada.
Lazy.
Yep. And they take advantage of any situation they get.
So I don't know. I'm happy that we're going to look into this. I understand both sides of the argument. I understand guys that aren't shooting ducks. They want to know why. I don't know. I don't know. I do believe that keeping water open, having corn in water, having food in water is probably keeping some ducks.
Well, of course it does.
But I don't know how many. And I don't know that there's a way of finding an answer of saying, yep, it's 500,000.
We've had no ducks this whole year. Tony's pond right now, I looked out there and go, there's 18 ducks out there right now. And Tony has put the ice eater in up there at his pond, and he put corn around it. We weren't duck hunting around here anyways, and just fed them and kept them around there. Now he's got 24 freeloaders that are coming here every day.
Yeah.
Because there's food and there's water. And I'm assuming he put corn out there again today. There's a bunch of ducks on it a minute ago. And we're not hunting them, so it doesn't matter. And season's over anyway. So he wants to feed them, keep them around. He likes looking at them. But that's how easily manipulated they are. We went from no ducks at all to those ducks put an ice eater in it when it froze up and then put some food down to it. Now they won't leave.
Yeah.
They could go anywhere they wanted to. They can go behind the lodge. We got 200 or 300 down there now. I heard some widgeons and mingo when I went peed. They're there. But they finally got some winter. It moved them. It's been a very frustrating season for a lot of the people, and I feel sorry for those guys. I do. I understood their frustration. And then the people were mocking them. I thought, boy, you're just causing more.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, it's no sense. We're all on the same team here. We all love the waterfowl. We all like to hunt. It's easier to work together than against each other.
Well, that's not going to happen.
No, but we got so many people already against us that are anti-hunters. If they had their way, we wouldn't even be hunting.
Fuck them.
That's what I'm too. All right. We appreciate y'all listening to us. God bless y'all. Thank you. Have a great day. I will be at me, Andy, and Michelle.
No, it's all about you, Jeff. That's fine.
We'll be at Turkey. I'm going to be there earlier than you, though.
No. I, me.
You fly in Thursday night.
Me. My, what I say, what this is, that, there.
What's the next subject you'd like me to be the devil's advocate on, and you take the good road?
You never take anything. You never take a hard stance.
I just use common sense.
You never take a hard stance.
I take hard stances on things I believe in.
How interesting would this show be if yeah, you're right.
It wouldn't be.
I agree with you.
So next time we'll have something we'll add.
We'll do ice next time. How about that? How about you take an anti-ice stance? Just play the devil's advocate on that.
That'd be tough.
Just for show purposes.
But you don't take anti-ice stance either, though.
No, but I took a stance as how I could see the other side views it.
Oh, the optics are horrible. I agree.
Like that was my stance. Is you can't say that any of this is a feather in the cap for ice where it looks good.
Oh, I got an ass chin over me saying that I understood the optics look bad too. The guy called me and he told me, "Wow, why would you say that?" Well, I understand where the people that think that we're just rounding up families and deporting them and stuff, and you see them on the street because of what the media covers. I said, I understand the optics look bad. I do get that. I didn't say I agree with it, but I said, I understand where people, the optics. First of all, young people, I have realized, people 30 and under do not care at all.
About what?
Anything going on in the world, hardly at all.
No.
I mean, as they hold,
I'm 38 and I really don't.
There are people out there that do, but most people 30 years and under really don't care too much what's going on.
Because things are too fucking hard for people 30 and under.
Right, it is.
So that was one thing. So used to listen to a lot of Dr. Peterson. See if I can frame this right. You have to make over a certain amount of money before you start giving a shit about how the earth is.
Yes.
So like there's more trees now than there were 50, 100 years ago. Well, that's because people started making more money and they didn't have to burn wood. So they didn't have to keep chopping trees down.
So you mean common sense is playing into this?
To fucking keep their family warm.
Right.
So
and people buy a house and they plant trees.
So when people are under 30 and they're struggling to buy a house, they're struggling to buy groceries. People under 30 are just fucking struggling right now. They don't give a shit about all the extra noise because they're worried about month to month. That's why they don't care. It's not because, they just intrinsically don't care. It's just they got other shit on their mind. They're trying to pay their bills from month to month. And it's really hard for people in that under 30 category right now. Anybody that's graduating high school and starting a career and trying to start a family, infertility rates are skyrocketing. You can't afford a house. Groceries are expensive. Insurance is expensive. Medical care sucks. The under 30 class has so much on their plate that the older generations don't have to worry about because they're already established. So it's not that they don't care or that they wouldn't care. It's just they've got too much other stuff. They can't see beyond their struggle right now. And I know a lot of you old fucking curmudgeons are like, oh, they got it easier now than ever before.
No, they don't.
It's tough right now. That's why they don't care. It's not because they wouldn't. It's just because you're established and you don't have to worry about if you're going to be able to afford rent this month. Or you're not going to have to worry about if you can have a house because you've already got a house.
Being poor is harder today than it ever was when I was growing up.
So that's what I was talking about with Dr. Peterson. Like, once you make over a certain amount of money and once you're a little bit established, then you can start worrying about saving the rainforest. Up until then, it's self-preservation. And I think the under 30 crowd is in self-preservation mode right now. So they don't care about ice. They don't care. All they care about is, can I afford groceries this month
When I was
for my
under
kids?
30, I didn't care about all that shit either. And you didn't either. It wasn't that big a deal to you. There's other things going on in the world.
I probably did because I drove a tractor and listened to WBAP, but...
Well, maybe you did that. But most people under 30 don't care, and it's always been that way. I think as you get older and established, you care more. I think
That's because you have more bandwidth to care.
And when you have... I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about having children. When you have children, you see things through different lenses.
I bet there's a lot of families out there right now that are looking at their ins and outs of their finances that have a family that still don't care about what's going on. All they care about is how many overtime shifts do I have to catch this month to pay for daycare.
But you look at it different when you have kids, is what I'm saying. If you're under 30 and you don't have kids, it's a whole different world. Once you have children,
and maybe that's why, because
they don't have as many kids.
The age of having a kid is up.
Yeah. Once you have a kid, you look at things different because you look in that child's eyes and you look at, me and Mom were at the grocery store in Abilene the other day, and I watched a lady and her kids, and they were buying groceries. And this kid wanted something. She's like, no, mijo's, a little Spanish lady. No, mijo, or something, whatever she's called him and stuff. And it hurt my heart.
Yeah.
It did, because it bothered me, because I'm thinking, I'm buying groceries now, and I'm not looking at a price. Mm-hmm. But I remembered when y'all were little, and me and Mom, we'd go buy groceries.
Yeah, we had to drink fucking Mountain Lightning because you wouldn't buy Mountain Dew.
I don't remember that.
I remember it well.
But I was probably
Dr. Thunder.
Probably because we didn't have no money. And when
it ain't that much more to buy Dr. Pepper over Dr. Thunder.
Yeah, but if you're buying a bunch of other shit, it is. But when your kids come up and they ask you for something and you can't give them that, it hurts. And when you're buying groceries and you're thinking, God Almighty, it's going to be $220 to buy all these groceries.
If you're lucky.
Well, no, I'm talking about back in the day.
Oh,
that was a big $200.
Oh, right.
You know, I didn't go to casinos then. I didn't do shit like that. I had no money. But you, and we didn't go on trips all the time and shit. We couldn't. And that's the way all these young families are. And you go through the struggles and you finally get to a place. But it's tough struggling for people today now because now they're worried about feeding their families. Mm-hmm. And there's so many of them that are on some kind of SNAP or EBT and shit. And we never had none of that stuff. And I'm not a big fan of all that, but I don't want to see nobody hungry. But I was listening to that lady with that kid the other day and I thought, God Almighty, you know? And then you don't want to be rude and come out, he wants a candy bar, I'll buy it for him.
Oh, trust me, I did that.
What?
I told you that story with why I don't help people. I was a young kid,
yeah.
heard a couple arguing about buying a video game or a movie or something for their kid, and I got chastised. So fuck them. That's my attitude now.
But we being young with a family today is tough, and it's a different world than it was when I was a kid, and it's a whole lot different world than it was when my parents were kids. And I always say all the time, people don't know how to be poor nowadays. Well, being poor today is a whole lot different and harder than it was back then. I actually, believe it or not, went to school with kids that didn't even have phones in their house.
Yeah.
That was not that uncommon. They don't have a phone. Well, then it went from everybody had a phone. Now everybody's got a cell phone. I don't know how these kids have these $1,500 iPhones. I don't. They ain't got shit, but they got a $1,500 iPhone. I don't understand how that works at all.
I don't either.
You know, I drove a pickup when I got out of high school. It cost me $300.
Really?
$300, a Ford pickup. I'd pay $3,000 for that truck now.
What did my first truck cost? It was 10, wasn't it? Y'all matched me.
I think it was.
We
more
bought
than
it from
that.
Matt Reagan.
I think it was 15.
I thought it was 10.
Maybe it was 10, but whatever it was. I mean, it was a nice vehicle, a lot nicer than anything I ever had growing up.
3 years old or something.
It was
like
a good, nice pickup. But
You're looking
nowadays,
now, what's a base truck? 40? 35?
I would probably pay 50.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a base for like 4-wheel drive. Because if you got a truck that's not
Tony bought a new
four-wheel-
pickup the other day, and Tony don't ever get no bells and whistles because I was like, you didn't even get leather seats.
Yeah.
I said, oh, I'm glad you got a Sirius XM finally. Oh yeah, but when it runs out, I ain't paying for that.
Which I don't blame him.
And he drives all the time though, so I don't understand why. But anyways, I bet Tony's truck
You
was.
can't listen to the conspiracy man
Yep.
on. It's not on radio.
I bet his truck was $60,000 at least. I think 50 or 60,000. Well, look up. You got a computer right in front of you.
I don't wanna do that.
I bet a Chevy Z71 pickup. Because everybody gets a 4-door pickup. With power. I bet it's $50,000.
Is it still Z71?
I think so.
Let's look at 4-wheel drive. Because you got to have 4-wheel drive.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even know why they sell them that's not 4-wheel drive.
For bitches. Ooh, you were right.
$50,000.
48.
Yep. $50,000 for a brand new pickup. Okay, you take a family. Let's say they put down $5,000 on that.
Yeah.
So they're financing $45,000 and
Yeah.
probably at 5% interest.
Yeah.
I mean, their payments $600-700 a month.
I don't know, man. It's ridiculous.
And then their insurance is fucking $300 a month.
Yeah. 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 So I mean, I'm compassionate to the young kids now. I know we have a lot of people older hunt with us because they have the money. And hearing them talk about the under 30 crowd, they're not in touch, man. They really don't. They don't understand. And I don't know what it really hurts my heart whenever I hear a guy that's 70 years old bought his house for $28,000 in Fort Worth, Texas, and he's bitching about the young crowd for not working hard enough. It's like, how hard do you want them to work? Like the average, almost everybody under 30 is working an extra job.
It was easier for them. It wasn't easy for them at all. But
No,
but money
but their
was money was different back then.
And it
but
went
they
further.
also it did go a lot further. They also didn't have all the other hidden expenses.
Yeah.
I mean, and when I say hidden expenses, if you bought a house, our house cost us $35,000,
Yeah.
and we paid it off in 4 or 5 years. We've completely redone it. I could sell my house, make a lot of money on my house right now, but I'd have to go somewhere else. You know, I couldn't. It would be dumb to do that. But you could buy a house, and I paid our house off in 4 years, I think. Mm-hmm. But another buddy of mine had a house, and he paid a little bit more than I did for mine, and he was on a 20-year note, and it took him 20 years to pay it off. You cannot. I didn't have to worry about a big cell phone bill, internet bill, all that other stuff. TV.
Yeah.
If you bundle your telephone, cell phone, all that stuff together, you're spending $400 a month. Mm-hmm. That was more than a house payment was back then.
This just came out 2 days ago. 71% of workers need a second job to manage their expenses. Yahoo Finance just 2 days ago came out with a report. 71% of workers today have to take out a second job.
And look at the people living in apartments.
Yeah.
You're never getting anything out of that. You're paying...
You'll have no equity whenever you're done.
Zero.
But you also don't have the liability, I guess.
Well, you have to have some kind of renter's insurance in case something happens. So you lose all your shit.
Yeah, but
you don't have to pay taxes.
You're not paying for the hot water heater busting. You're not paying for your roof caving.
No, but you'll never have nothing.
At the end of the day, no.
And I know people live in apartments for 30 years. I'm thinking, God, screw that shit. But that's not my game. I don't want people living above me or next to me like that.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger city thing compared to a small town. I used to tell everybody all the time, too, that would bitch about living in a big city, how much shit costs. Move to a small town. You can move 30 miles outside of Dallas, Fort Worth, and live in a small town, cost of living ball. Nowadays, them things are gone.
College is the big thing, too. Because back when the 65 plus, whatever number you want to put on it, they paid $750 a semester. But the under 30 crowd, I'll even put my crowd in it. The under 40 crowd, they were told by everybody, the way to get ahead in life is to get a college education. So what has everybody done? When I was in school, it was expensive. I can't imagine what it is now.
It's really expensive now.
It's real expensive now. So now kids are coming out. They were told, if you want to get ahead in life, you have to have a college degree. So they said, okay, I'll play the game. I'll go to this good school, whatever it costs. I'll mortgage my future to make sure that I've got this piece of paper from this prestigious institution. I was told this was the way forward. Now they come out, they have $250,000 in debt.
And a $40,000 a year job.
And a $40,000 a year job. Whereas the people that told them this went to school when it was affordable. You could go to Texas Tech for a fucking cow when it started. So, I mean, it's rigged. It sucks. And I understand that this new generation was sold a bad bunch of goods.
If college is not the trendy thing to do now today is to go to school and trade and learn something, which is really smart.
Yes.
But I made a post 6 months ago on Facebook or so about, I don't want to pay your college debt. I'm sick of that shit. Nobody paid off our SBA note. We did. I don't want to hear about your college and we should give you free just wipe out your debt. That's bullshit. And it is. And I'm going to tell you why I think that way is. I went to school with 3 guys I was friends with. And we hung around with a group of girls, and there was probably 6 or 8 of those girls. Well, about 3 of those kids went to everything. They go spring break at Padre. They go to every concert in Dallas. They did this and did that. And I remember one time saying something about, I said, we get more of a school loan so we do all that stuff. So let's say college back then was $4,000 a semester, which I don't even think it was that much, but let's just say it was. Well, at the end of the year, they was borrowing $30,000. They lived in an apartment. They went out every night. Right. They went spring break. They went snow skiing. They did everything. They went all the time. And then one of them the other day was bitching because he still hadn't paid all the school loan off. Fuck, you're almost retirement age.
In 50 years, college tuition and fees have increased approximately 2,500%.
Yep.
For a 4-year institution. For private school, it's only gone up 2,000%.
But yes, college tuitions went up, but I'm saying a lot of these people that are bitching and griping about their college, their student loans and shit, did the same thing my friends did. They went and got more money than they needed for school because none of them fucking worked. They went to school. Some of them were on the 7-year plan to get a 4-year degree. They had a good time. Yeah. And I'm not knocking that. I was pretty honest with you. I was pretty jealous of them.
But the stakes weren't as high either.
Well, no, but
you're talking in 1970, the cost for...
I didn't go to school in 1970.
Yeah, but I just did 50 years. 3 public 4-year institution cost was $394.
What was it in 1990?
I don't know, but
okay.
It's 11,000 now.
Okay, but those kids though are bitching now because not all of them, just one of them he's a big liberal now, was bitching about why can't they just do away with my college loans? Yeah. Thinking, how the fuck do you have a college loan?
Right.
You got out of school 35 years ago.
Yeah.
So. And you still are paying on your college now. But those people borrowed that money. Well, you see these kids do the same thing now.
Yeah.
They get these big loans and they go do shit all the time. They got new cars and everything. Well, it's crazy.
Tough.
You need to learn to throw a football and you can be paid $4 million to be a quarterback at Texas Tech this year.
That's right.
All right, let's get out of here. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye.
Right,
peace.
Bye. of our sponsors. Go check out Boss Shot Shells, Be a Turkey, Pacific Calls. Use our promo code BHP25. Dive Bomb Industries, Ducks Unlimited, Dirty Duck Coffee, Shin Gear, Looking Glass Podcast, Lucky Duck Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitter, Cedar Run, and Mitchell Chevrolet.